goodbye, awaiting a word, gasping at glimpses of gentle true spirit. He runs, wishing he could fly, only to trip at the sound of goodbye. Wordlessly watching, he waits by the window and wonders at the empty place inside. Heartlessly helping himself to her bad dreams, he worries, did he hear a goodbye? Or even hello? They are one person, they are two alone, they are three together, they are for each other. Stand by the stairway, you see something certain to tell you confusion as its cost. Love isn't lying, it's loose in a lady who lingers, saying she is lost and choking on hello. They are one person, they are two alone, they are three together, they are for each other.
A pretty little, I can't say quartet, a group of girls that I have found on YouTube that are just fascinating. They're really good. 3-part harmony, and so many of them are just beautiful. Beautiful girls, too. Actually, gorgeous girls, to be honest with you. A song called Helplessly Hoping. It's a long, old song, but still nice. Very nice. Yeah, these girls are amazing. I found them, I don't know when I found them. I found them, I guess, I don't know. Maybe a few months ago or something. I don't even remember. Yeah, they're good. Really good stuff. Good stuff. From the original singers of that were Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. If you remember, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young did it. They wrote the song. They did it. They recorded it, I don't know how long ago, maybe 500 years ago. They did it, I think they did it at Woodstock. I'd have to ask Mr. White. I don't know if they did or not, but they did an amazing version of it. They, of course, have 3-part harmony. It's Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Graham Nash, Stephen Stills, and somebody Crosby. And they do amazing 3-part harmony on the... What album was that? It was... I'm not sure what it was. It was on some album they did, but here we go with this. This is them doing it. If you're interested, it's really nice.
Helplessly hoping her harlequin hovers nearby, awaiting a word, gasping at glimpses of gentle true spirit. He runs, wishing he could fly, only to trip at the sound of goodbye. Wordlessly watching, he waits by the window and wonders at the empty place inside. heartlessly helping himself to her bad dreams. He worries, did he hear a goodbye or even hello? They are one person, they are two alone, they are three together, they are for each other. Stand by the stairway, you'll see something certain to tell you. Confusion has its cost. Love isn't lying, it's loose in a lady who lingers, saying she is lost and choking on hello. They are one person, they are two alone, they are three together, they are for each other.
Well, I certainly wasn't ready for that to quit. Thanks. Stop. Hey, stop. My fault. My bad. My complete bad. Yeah, I was thinking about talking to you guys tonight about more in the assassination of John F. Kennedy, more of the research that I have done, but more importantly, the research that somebody else has done that I have happened upon. Over the past 50 years, everything has been hidden. A lot of information has been hidden away from the American public. For what reason, I have no idea. I don't even care to go there. But they have recently, on the 50th anniversary of his death, in November of last year, I don't remember what it was, however many years it was. I don't know. I'd have to do the math on it. But they have released a lot of new information. Yes. Oh, thank you. Wow, that's a lot. Thank you.
Sorry.
Is that for you?
No, it's yours.
Thank you.
You made it.
I know I did, but it still looks good. I just got through finishing dinner, which is why I'm on the air right now, because earlier I was taking care of my family. So, now what I was going to tell you about is, since so much time has gone by, let's just get this right so everybody doesn't freak out. Oh, she didn't even know how many years it was. Let's see. He was killed on November the 22nd of 1963. So that would be 2017 minus 1963. Yeah, it's been 50 years. Hello. After the 50-year mark, which a lot of it was forced to be hidden for 50 years because they figured that everybody that was alive back then would be dead by now. And I guess that's true, right? That's true. But what has happened is there was a man that was investigating a man for running cars to Dallas, hot cars back and forth to Dallas. And for some bizarre reason, this man says to this other man, boy, if you only knew what I knew about... They were driving by Dealey Plaza, and he simply said, if you only knew what a friend of mine knows about this, or something like that, okay? And it really bothered this man so much that he went as far as to contact this man. And the man that I'm talking about was with the FBI, the original guy. I can give you their names and everything. So he contacts this man and he says, what were you talking about that day? Because what it was, okay, the guy from the FBI was trying to set up this guy for running hot parts of cars and hot cars back and forth between Chicago and Dallas, right? Well, this guy that he was friends with was the undercover cop that was going to set this guy up, and he got with the guy, and he made the deal, and blah, 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 and he's the one that ratted him off. Well, he said, the weird thing about it was when I was with this guy, we just happened to drive by Dealey Plaza one day. He goes, it was about 2 years ago. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, we drive by, and he said to me, boy, if people only knew what really happened that day. And he said, I was very taken back by it because this guy wasn't joking around. So they worked together to get to this guy, and they got to the guy. Well, once they got to him, excuse me, he says, I'm not talking to anybody. Screw that. And that's an entire section of it. Now, the other section that has come up has been they have released a lot of the evidence that was withheld, of course, by the FBI back then. There was a lot of evidence withheld by the FBI. Nobody knows why, but it just was. I mean, I know why, but you know why. Well, one thing that they did not allow, they have all the evidence. They weren't allowed to destroy anything. Well, they did destroy some things, but you know what I'm saying. And knowing that this evidence was at the National Archives of the FBI and the CIA, this man in Denmark went about securing enough funds to go and talk to a man from the FBI and a man from the CIA. When he went and tried to find them, it just so happened that he was led to two gentlemen that had wanted to come out and tell the truth about what they knew and what was going on for a long time, but they wanted to back everything up they could with evidence because they knew that people would say, oh, that's crap, it's not, it's not true. So what they did is these two men, one with the FBI and one with the CIA, decided that over the term of about 2 years, they would go back and illegally copy and get the evidence that they knew was back in the back rooms, okay? That's how they got the evidence. And they knew that once they were found out that everything would go to shit and they would get fired and all that kind of stuff, which is exactly what happened. The money was used to help finance their lives, basically. They were basically paid to do this, and they did it. And they stand in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, give their full name, rank, and serial number, and say, yeah, I did it, because I don't care at this point. I believe that this country needs to know the truth, right? So coupled with that, and along with several other things, a gentleman out of the country of Denmark did a special. He recorded, he spent his own money doing this. And he originally sold it only to, of course, the BBC, because they don't mind playing anything. They're not scared of us. So they played it on the BBC. I think it was BBC Two. It ran on what they call their Discovery Channel. And it was so amazing that some people actually videotaped it, got a copy of it, and they played it on YouTube and on different places like that, the different channels like Vimeo, whatever it's called. They played it on those, and it was immediately taken down. It was immediately, for whatever reason, it was taken down. And I found it one day just for whatever reason. I just found it. And I was shocked that I found it. And I was like, oh my God. And I began to watch it, and I thought, this is unbelievable, because the people are not, these people are telling the truth. They have no reason to lie, is what I'm saying. So what happened is there was a guy that they were looking for that had claimed to be one of the assassins, right? And he's serving life in a penitentiary, and everybody was trying to debunk this. Everybody was like, oh, this guy's an idiot. This guy, the CIA went nuts. Oh, no, this guy's crazy. This guy's this guy's that. Well, so what happened is the warden of the prison got tired of it, It's just, y'all got to hear this. If I can find it, I'm trying to just talk and talk until I can find this. But it's the most amazing thing you've ever heard in your life, and I'm going to play it for you guys so you can hear for yourself. Your little baby selves. I'm trying to find it. It's real hard to find. I can't tell if I don't know. I'm eating part of my dinner like I always do. Gosh, I watch a lot of JFK stuff. Yeah, I really do. Yeah, I fixed my audio. It was in the settings that I did on the computer. I'm so stupid. Sorry, I'm sitting here eating in front of you. I don't remember what I did with it, so never mind. No, I'm joking. I'll find it, but I don't know where it's at. I gotta remember the guy's name. The guy's name was, it's real hard to say. It's like a foreign name. It's like, I don't know his name. I mean, I don't know how to spell it or whatever. Oh, rats. Well, I'm sorry. I should have not even said anything until I found it. I was sure I would find it. I was positive I'd find it. Let me check on my bookmarks because I think I bookmarked it. It's pretty amazing. I'm telling you, if you just take the time and listen to this, you'll go, wow. It is all new evidence, and everybody in the JFK situation, rooms, everything I go to, IRCs, all that kind of, they're all freaking out about it because it's pretty amazing. Here it is, I think. Yeah, I think. Let me try this.
Like you said, the ledger is everything.
Assassinated our precious president, that we find out. And at the very least, if we can't find out, we tell the American people what we did find out during the course of the investigation and the reasons why we weren't able to find out exactly what happened. And that should have been done, and it wasn't done.
Right after we left the safe house, and we came down and was dropped.
Okay, this is a CIA pilot. His name is
Mental investigation. And it
this isn't it,
as a one
but I'll just go ahead and play this for a minute.
Proud of being an American.
Why do I talk so much about JFK? Because if, in fact, and I'm not, that's not a very big if because of the things that I have known. I mean, I spend most of my free time doing this because I think that people fail to realize, yes, I know he's dead. Yes, I know he can never be brought back to life. I know all that. That's stupid. I'm not a child. But if, in fact, our government did this and was part of a cover-up and killed an innocent man, that is putrid. That is horrific. And that is something that I think everybody needs to know about. Everybody needs to know about. Everybody needs to hear it. Because they're teaching in the school districts that JFK was killed by a lone assassin named Lee Harvey Oswald. Can you imagine what that's doing to his family? His family name. People go over and actually, excuse me, they go over there and actually urinate on his grave, whatever we're going to call it, his grave. That's disgusting. I mean, and people, I think, need to be given, if you don't think of it as the truth, at least think of it as an option to what happened, because you all know, I don't care who you are, you know it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald. You know it wasn't. Okay, here we go.
When the government investigates who assassinated our precious president, that we find out. And at the very least, if we can't find out, we tell the American people what we did find out during the course of the investigation and the reasons why we weren't able to find out exactly what happened. And that should have been done, and it wasn't done.
Right after we left the safe house, and we came down and was dropped off on the other side of the triple underpass. And we checked back over this way. We'd spotted the grassy knoll on the north side.
I don't know if we will ever know how many shooters there were.
Tosh Plumlee is the pilot, the CIA pilot that you just heard.
My investigation shows that Johnny Roselli was there, Chuck Nicoletti was there, James Fowles was there.
I'm fixing to lose my fuel of fire. And at this point, either I shoot or I can put it in a suitcase and leave, one or the other. I took the shot. I fired one shot only.
Joseph Patrick Kennedy taught his kids that they could get away with anything. And no matter what, they could always get away with it. And therefore, we have drug addiction in some of the Kennedy kids. Well, we can get away with it. We'll solve everything. But in Bobby Kennedy, many, many instances where he thought he could get away with anything. And John Kennedy, believing that he could have intercourse with any woman in the world and get away with it. And so I think there was absolutely one feeling amongst the entire Kennedy clan that whatever we want to do, we can do, and we will get away with it. I think this was the Kennedy attitude. And if Bobby were really smart, he would have known, and I'm sure he did know, the promise that his father made to the mob. If he were really smart, he wouldn't go after the mob the way he did. But it was very selfish on his part. He was going to make his name to get rid of the mob. And of course, it is said that Bobby Kennedy did realize that he, in an interesting way, was the reason his brother got killed.
Basically, Joe Kennedy promised the mob the White House. You elect my son, and the White House is yours. Well, what did? They thought they elected his son because Illinois is the one that flipped it, in West Virginia. Well, who flipped it in Illinois? None other but Chicago. And they felt like they got Kennedy elected. So when Bobby steps in, they felt betrayed.
In the spring and summer of 1963, according to credible federal witnesses, 3 major mafia figures were all discussing plots to kill John and Robert Kennedy. John or Robert. Carlos Marcello, mafia boss of New Orleans, spoke about killing President Kennedy. Santos Trafficante, mafia boss of Tampa, predicted that Kennedy would be killed. And Jimmy Hoffa, who was the Teamster boss, who was close with both Trafficante and Marcello, is asking an FBI informant to procure some explosives to murder Robert Kennedy.
The mafia stood to lose millions after Castro kicked them out of Cuba and ended what could be called Cuba's role as a client state for the mob.
Prior to November 22nd, 1963, the mob were in bed with CIA. Years before, they connected through a guy by the name of Robert Mayhew, who was a retired FBI agent, that put the Chicago mob together with the CIA and came up with the operation to kill Castro. CIA, unchecked, no checks and balances on them, basically ran their own ship, didn't answer to anybody, and Kennedy, at that time, was about to disband them. He wasn't happy with the Bay of Pigs. He wasn't happy with all the operations they had going to kill Castro. He was rather embarrassed by some of the operations they had going. He fired Dulles, and he fired General Cabell. And strangely enough, the mayor of Dallas, Texas, is General Cabell's brother.
Kennedy also was having second thoughts on our involvement in Vietnam. Soon after taking office, he had been confronted with a crisis in the Southeast Asian nation of Laos, where the communist Pathet Lao were fighting against the CIA-supported General Pumi Novasan. As in the Bay of Pigs invasion, all of Kennedy's advisors, including the Joint Chiefs of Staff, urged him to send in U.S. troops. But again, he declined.
So you have the military against him. Johnson and Kennedy hated each other.
Just prior to his death, Kennedy signed National Security Action Memorandum 263, which effectively called for the return of all U.S. troops from Vietnam by the end of 1965. Kennedy's disengagement orders were countermanded only days after his assassination by the security memorandum authorized by his successor, Lyndon Johnson. The initial draft of this order was dated November 21st, 1963, a time when Kennedy was in Texas and the day before he arrived in Dallas.
Not only are you looking at things getting tight for CIA, you're looking at things getting tight for the Mafia, you're looking at Bobby Kennedy going after him.
And then we have the Bay of Pigs. The Bay of Pigs, of course, it was a disaster, and it was a disaster thanks to John Kennedy, who in 1:30 on April the 16th in 1961 had okayed the flight of airplanes out of Nicaragua to take care of this Bay of Pigs invasion. And then at 9:30 that night had rescinded it. And so what happened was that about 1,250 anti-Castro soldiers got captured, about 125 of them got killed.
So who did it? Well, I can throw another one in. He's going to get rid of J. Edgar Hoover if he is reelected in 1964, and Hoover knows that. He's mandatory retirement time. What does Johnson do after he gets in the White House but give him a permanent deferment to the day he dies? They could be director if he lives to be 150. So you got all these people that don't like Kennedy.
J. Edgar Hoover hated the Kennedys, and the Kennedys hated him. Bobby was over him, and one Saturday afternoon, Bobby asked J. Edgar Hoover to look after his dog. And so you can imagine what J. Edgar Hoover thought about that.
You know, you talk about conspiracy, you talk about how could it last for 40 years without somebody in the conspiracy saying anything.
Former Special Agent Zach Sheldon was an agent who worked under my supervision. He had called me and presented to me the stage of the investigation on the Kennedy assassination that he had been conducting independently. It was quite obvious from our conversation that Zach had the investigators' fire for the investigation, which to a certain degree concerned me. And I wanted Zach, and I told him at this time, to kind of step back and don't let your emotions run, but hold yourself as the investigator and let the information, facts flow.
I entered on duty with the FBI in 1970 and became an agent in 1973, where I went to Kansas City, Missouri, then Chicago, Illinois, and then the Houston Division. When I was in Kansas City and Chicago, my main investigative duties was on the Organized Crime Squad. Since retiring in 1998 from the FBI, I have spent a lot of time investigating the Kennedy assassination.
Why do we want to open up this sore again? Has there not been enough, Zach, facts, warrant commission, books written, documentaries written? What makes your information so different and unique than what has previously been presented? We then decided at this time that Zach must convince me, as the old supervisor, that there was sufficient information here where I would authorize an investigation, meaning predication, a purpose. Why spend the effort? I've had an occasion to now review the evidence that has been gathered by Zach. We'd already crossed the threshold of predication, reason to investigate. After reviewing the evidence and information, in my opinion, it has reached the point which I would call probable cause. We have got to go over that information, realize that maybe certain mistakes were made. Maybe there were certain agendas that had to be taken care of for national security. Well, now is the time for truth to come forward.
In approximately 1979 or 1980 in Chicago, I had an investigation involving James Fowles. In this investigation, I identified the fact that Files was hijacking tractor-trailer loads of merchandise and bringing them to Chicago and selling them. We were able to purchase 3 of these loads, and with conversation that we had with Files, it was known that he was definitely not a godchild, but basically a really running buddy of Chuck Nicoletti's. Also at that same time, Files was involved in a chop shop operation and was bringing these vehicles down to Dallas, Texas. Through this investigation, I was able to come very close to an individual that Files knew, and this individual told me that once in Dallas, Texas, they went through Dealey Plaza. Files became very weird, made a comment to the effect that if the American people really knew what happened, no one would be able to handle it. This statement, I felt, was definitely made, or this individual wouldn't have told me this. The question then was, why did Files make that statement?
Joe West is a private investigator whose investigation of the Kennedy assassination began in 1989. In 1992, he meets former FBI Special Agent Zach Shelton.
I told Joe West about this comment that Files had made in 1979 and told him if he really wanted to check up on a good lead, he should find Files. And at that time, I knew Files was incarcerated somewhere in the United States.
Initially, Files was very reluctant to talk to Joe West. Meticulously, West established a relationship with Files. Through months of personal visits and detailed correspondence, Files began to reveal his participation in the JFK assassination, but would only confess if he were granted immunity from prosecution. West was negotiating immunity from Texan authorities when he became ill and suddenly passed away in 1993. As Files had come to respect Joe West, his death was a major factor in his willingness to come forward with the confession that West had been seeking from him.
When Joe West first originally contacted me here at Stateville Prison, I was on a visit. The counselor came in the visiting room where I was at and stated that she wanted me to come out and make a phone call. I told her, I said, no way, I'm here 365 days a year. I'm not leaving my visit to go make a phone call. I said, who's calling? She told me, someone from Texas named Joe West. I told him, I do not know the party. I said, tell them I'll call them on my time, not their time. I'm on a visit. Don't bother me when I'm on a visit. The next day, they got me out of my cell. They took me downstairs and got a phone call hooked up. I called Joe West to talk to him. I told him, you have 3 minutes to convince me why I should talk to you. As Joe started talking to me, I told him, I said, whoa, stop. I said, you're on a lot of touchy spots. I said, these phone calls are recorded. Every phone call going in and coming out is recorded. If you want to talk to me that bad, then I suggest you come and visit me. Joe West had me put him on his visiting list. He come up to visit me. He spent 2 days up here talking with me. The first day, I wouldn't even talk to him about the Kennedy situation. We got into sports, weather, generally about prison, local things till I got comfortable with him. The next day, after I thought it over all night, Joe West seemed like a pretty nice guy. I really liked Joe. He had a magnetism about him. The next day, we sat down, we got serious, and then we started talking. I sit in the visiting room with Joe. They gave us a pencil and paper. I sketched the entire Dealey Plaza out for him without any maps, without any pictures, nothing present. And I explained to Joe at that time, because Joe wanted to know where was I at. And I said, I'm going to put an X on the paper to signify me, but this X is not in the correct spot. I said, when the time comes, then I will put the X where it is supposed to be. And he said that someone had informed him that I was there. He said he had a reliable source. And I didn't know for quite a while who that source was. It was quite some time later before I learned the fact that the FBI was aware of my presence as early as 1964. Because I never knew that anyone ever knew about me. But Zach Sheldon, from what I understand, and I'm only quoting this from hearsay, that Zach was the one that stated and gave me to Joe West the information on me, that I was in Dealey Plaza. Well, the whole thing is, like with Joe West died. He passed away never knowing that I was one of 2 shooters there in Dealey Plaza that day. Joe West never knew I was on the grassy knoll. Joe West went in for heart surgery And from what I was told and what I understood, that he had come through it fairly well, and he was on the road to recovery. But then I was informed there was complications with his medicine. He was allergic to it, or an allergy or something. He saw that it killed him. The medication killed him. Joe West had the case in court. He wanted to exhume John F. Kennedy's body. And that's what he was fighting for. And at this point, when I talked to Joe West, I explained to him that John F. Kennedy had been hit in the head with a mercury round, a special load. At this point, I explained to him he can use this in the courts to have the body exhumed because there would still be traces of mercury, because the traces of mercury do not disappear. It'll always be there. And so this is what Joe West wanted, to go back with more evidence and use this to get Kennedy's body exhumed, to look for traces of mercury.
And the court had accepted his case?
The court had accepted his case. But with his death, the case died.
Go back to when you first learned that there was a plot to kill Kennedy, and then just bring us forward into how it all came about.
Excuse me. The first time that I knew about anything being planned on Kennedy, I'd heard a lot of rumors that nobody liked Kennedy. They wanted to kill Kennedy. They wanted to assassinate him. They wanted to do everything to the man.
Were you kind of upset with him yourself over Bay?
Oh, I was upset with him over the Bay of Pigs, but I never paid any attention to any of this at first because, you know, everybody talks. Somebody gets mad at somebody right away, and I'm going to take this guy out. I'm going to take that person out. Woo, 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 woo. You know, a lot of barking, junkyard dogs barking, you know. But I was sitting in the Harlow Grill that evening playing the pinball machine, not the flipper kind, the kind with numbers where you gamble on and you put about $10 in to play a game. And Charles Nicoletti walked in, a man that I did a lot of work with, a man that I respected. And he walked in the back room where I was at, says, "Jimmy, let's go." I said, "I'll be with you in a minute." He reached over and tilted the machine and said, "Let's go now." My reply was, "Yes, sir, Mr. Nicoletti." I knew he wasn't in no mood to wait and hang around. He said, "I want to talk to you." I went out, I got in his car, and we went for a ride. And we made it a basic habit not to sit around restaurants, talk, reels, discuss anything like that, because when other people hearing. And we went for a ride, and he told me, he says, "We're going to do a friend of yours." And I said, "Jesus, what the hell did he do now?" But I thought this was referring to one of my friends in town there. He had been robbing the pinball machines and the cigarette machines, and he had a $1,000 a day heroin habit. And he was an all-out and out junkie, and, you know, they'd beat him up several times and everything else and threatened him, but so far they'd never went as far as to kill him. Chuck laughed at me, and he says, "No," he says, "not him." He says, "I'm talking about President Kennedy, JFK." And I looked at him and I said, "What?" He says, "JFK." He says, "Your buddy." I said, "Well, he just busting, you know, giving me a hard time when he knew JFK. He knew how much I disliked the man." And I looked at him and I laughed. I said, "Okay, fine with me. You get in arguments there." And at this point, I still kind of thought, you know, he was just joking with me. But then he got real serious about it. And then we started talking, and then he told me, he says, "What I'm going to want you to do," he says, "I'm going to look around." He says, "We'll search the area around the town here." He says, "You know everything pretty good," he says, "and see where we're going to do it at, what kind of weapons we're going to need, and other things like that," he says. And he mentioned, he said he was going to bring Johnny Roselli in on it. Fine with me, and I don't care who we work with. You know, I like Johnny. I had no problems with him. And originally we'd planned to do it in the Chicago area, but certain people didn't like that idea. So then we put it off, and this is like 6 months before the assassination ever really took place.
But you were not supposed to be a shooter?
Oh, no, never. I was not a shooter. I was, let's put it this way, I would like, you know, the gopher. I go for this, go for that, pick this up, pick that up, run around, drive him around. When Chuck went somewhere, I was always with him. And
did you ever get wind that the Secret Service might have found out about the plot in Chicago?
No, I didn't get no wind on that at all, no drift. I just knew that certain people high up in organized crime, they wasn't too happy about the idea of having something like that happen to that magnitude in their backyard.
Gotcha.
Because they figured Bobby would really be down there, you know, and they already had their own little private wars going. And so we decided, well, we'd take it moving. So I had no idea it was going to Texas at that point.
About when was that?
Well, I'm going to say probably, 2.5, 3 months maybe before I ever made the trip to Texas that they were talking about it. Because they didn't know where he was going to go. They were looking for an area to go. But then they had heard that he possibly may take this trip to Texas, but there was nothing definite. And I didn't go to Texas until that had been confirmed. And they had several different locations. There was New Orleans, and I don't know, there's other places he was going to. But when it come down to it, I had been told there was places that they had planned to do it. Other people had been authorized, stuff like that. Just different rumors you hear. How much credibility is to it, I cannot say. But when the time come, and we knew that it was going to be serious, and we were going to, Chuck was sending me to Texas, that's when I went down on Belmont Avenue, the old Valley place where they made the pinball machines. And I had a shed down there, place where we, back room, that was all owned by the outfit too, pinball machines. I kept a catch of weapons down there. We used to do a lot of work on. When I say we, I'm referring to a party named Wolfman, who is now deceased. But at that time, he was excellent, remodifying weapons, manufacturing loads, whatever come down to handguns, rifles. This guy was a professional at it. He could manufacture things in his basement like you wouldn't believe, from silencers on down the line. He did it all for him. So I went down there, got the stuff we needed, and we had the one car that he just bought. Already had everything secured in. We had secret compartments in it. And every car that we had, even before the 63 Chevy, even in the 61 Ford that we had prior to that in the 62, we had compartments in the dash where you could reach up under it, open things up, put grenades in there, handguns, whatever we might need. Behind the back seat, we had gun racks in the cars. We had pull-off door panels that would snap off. You could put them back on. We had handguns and stuff in there, whatever you might need. But we always had a work car ready.
So what did Wolfman do for you?
Wolfman, when I contacted him after all this went down, and this is several years later, this is when I first met Joe West, and Joe West had come here, visited me, we talked, and he asked me, he said, do you think this party called Wolfman would talk to me? And Joe asked me what his real name was, and I told him, I said, I won't divulge that, but I will call him and talk to him. So I called him on the phone, and I told him, I said, I'm talking to Joe West from Texas, and he wanted to know who Joe was, and I explained all this to him, and I said, Joe would very much like to interview. I said, I did not give Joe West your name, but I told him that you was the one that manufactured the special rounds. You made 6 rounds for me to take to Texas, all mercury loaded. I said, he wants to talk to you very much. Will you talk with him? And he said, get back to me. He said, I'll let you know. He said, I want to check a few things.
Okay, I know you're probably all thinking, this guy's full of shit. There's no way. There's no way this guy has done this. He's all full of shit. And I'm sure a lot of people have set out to try to debunk the guy, but they can't. Even the warden of the prison comes forward. Now, he goes on and tells a long story, but basically the bottom line is he's the one that shot the fatal shot, okay? And he's very narcissistic. I mean, you have to ask yourself, what kind of a person would do what he did? It has to be somebody that's narcissistic, which means he's going to talk like, oh, well, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this. And he really kind of gets on your nerves after you listen to him for just about 5 minutes. So he's already gotten on my nerves. I frankly don't like the man. I mean, he's the one that, from what I know, when the mafia orders a hit for whatever reason, they get people to do it that are very low on the totem pole. You know what I'm saying? And this guy was very low on the totem pole. But the thing about it is he was also a CIA operative. He had a handler. He had a CIA handler. So it was really, but as you know, back in those days, the CIA was working very closely with the mafia. I mean, I could tell you stuff that was it'd just be too much for you guys to handle at one sitting. But here is what the warden of the penitentiary that this man was in had to say. Let me show you this. It's going to have just a little bit of James Files left on it.
Things that I accepted, because to me, other things were more important. My family, my wife, my kids, they were way down on the list of priorities. Wrong, I know.
Are you remorseful about shooting Kennedy?
For many years, no, I wasn't. But as the time goes by, I'm not saying remorseful for shooting Kennedy. Maybe I'm more remorseful for how it affected this country and for the things it's done. Maybe John F. Kennedy did do some good things for this country. I'm not really sure. But I got a lot of remorse for a lot of things that I've done. But that's for the simple reason I've got my life turned around a little bit. So I can't be as hard as I used to be. I try to have a lot of compassion for my fellow man. But for John F. Kennedy, got to be honest, yeah.
I got this man's address and not his prison number and everything, and I wrote him a letter about a year ago, and he wrote me back a letter. I asked him if he would do an interview and all this kind of stuff, and I asked him about the validity of his testimony, and the only thing that he said was, Miss Daly, I received your letter, and I'm sorry, but I have not given an interview since the interview that you speak of in your email. All I can tell you is every word of that interview is the truth. I have had many lie detector tests as well as interviewed by many FBI agents. Keep up the good work. And then he signs it with his his real name and his prison number. And I was satisfied as hell when I heard that. So
I say I got a little remorse there for him because not specifically maybe him, but like for his family, for the kids and all. But at the time when we acted, I felt that I was right in what we were doing.
I looked him in the face and said, Jane, if what you're saying is true, do you...
This is Tony Godinez. He's the warden of the penitentiary that the man is in that just spoke.
Do you realize that you changed history? What was the thing on your mind? What was the utmost #1 thing on your mind after you fired that shot? You know what his answer was? He goes to me, Warden, I was kind of pissed because I missed my target by a fraction of an inch. He didn't smile. He didn't gloat. He answered my question with a lot less emotion and passion than I asked it, which struck me.
And Files in prison now, I think, is really an unfortunate fact because he was blamed for the shooting of a
former CIA agent
named David Ostertag. As a matter of fact, Files did not shoot. It was his partner named Morley that shot. And it did not kill the 2 policemen that were after them. It injured them. However, Files thought that nearly everyone in the jury of Lake County had a relative on the Lake County police force, and, you know, he got life imprisonment. And so here he is in prison, although he did not shoot because his gun jammed. So he was blamed for the shooting of David Ostertag, and he's in prison.
An example of evidence pointing towards conspiracy is the account of Lieutenant Colonel Marvin, who claims he was asked by the CIA to kill Navy officer Bruce William Pitzer. Mr. Pitzer was present at Kennedy's autopsy and responsible for making films. There is evidence that Pitzer kept copies for himself, which he refused to release.
First of all, I was called up to Colonel C.W. Patton's office. He was my commanding officer of the 6th.
This is Dan Marvin, the Lieutenant Colonel of Special Ops. And listen to what he has to say. This is amazing.
On the Lake County police force, and, you know, he got life imprisonment. And so here he is in prison, although he did not shoot because his gun jammed. So he was blamed for the shooting of David Ostertag, and he's in prison.
An example of evidence pointing towards conspiracy is the account of Lieutenant Colonel Marvin, who claims he was asked by the CIA to kill Navy officer Bruce William Pitzer. Mr. Pitzer was present at Kennedy's autopsy and responsible for making films. There is evidence that Pitzer kept copies for himself, which he refused to release.
First of all, I was called up to Colonel C.W. Patton's office. He was my commanding officer of the 6th Special Forces Group. And I went up and he said, there's a company man waiting to meet you out under the pines. And there was one other officer there too. So we both walked towards the CIA officer from Colonel Patton's office. And when we got so close to him, I went ahead and the other fellow stayed back. And he had with him a piece of paper and he handed it to me and had a name on it, William Bruce Pitzer. And he said, this man has got secrets that he's going to give to the enemy, and we'd like to have him taken care of. Would you like to do it? And I said, certainly. And I said, well, where is he located? Because I was on orders to go to Vietnam, so I assumed it was someplace outside the United States, because that's what we were told we'd do. And he said it was in Bethesda Naval Hospital, Bethesda, Maryland. And I said, I can't do that. I said, I got a wife and 3 children. I can't just all of a sudden disappear here in the United States like I'd have to in order for me to take care of that mission. And he said, you mean you refused to do it? And I said, yes, but I said, you understand why? I said, you know what we were taught. And so he just dismissed me.
However, A year later, Pitzer was found in his office with a bullet in his head, and his death was quickly ruled a suicide.
Then, in 1993, they had a 30-year anniversary of JFK's assassination special. I was watching that program, and at the end of the program, they rolled a list of 42 names of men who had been involved one way or another in the assassination or its aftermath. And one of the names was Lieutenant Commander William Bruce Pitzer, and I about fell out of my chair. I got goosebumps all over me. And I said, he wasn't selling secrets to the enemy, he was doing something else. So I immediately set about, and with the help of a friend of mine, I located his widow, who still lived in Maryland. And I talked to her on the phone twice, recorded both times, and told her that I'd been asked to kill her husband and why. And she told me that he had the actual photographs of the Kennedy autopsy, both film and slides, and that she had been told by 4 different Navy intelligence officers to not talk to anybody, not even family, about her husband's death.
The most shocking and disappointing aspect of the case was the lack of thoroughness and completeness of what the Warren Commission had done. It's mandated to tell the truth to the American people.
This is the man that headed up the 30-year investigation. I mean, the 1997 investigation, when they reopened the case.
But when our government investigates, I cherish our government. I'm a believer in our system, and I've spent my career supporting our system. And as someone who served in the government, both as an assistant district attorney and as a mayor of a city and a city council, it's incumbent upon representatives of the people to tell the people the truth. And the Warren Commission didn't do that. And that, to me, is terribly regrettable.
Once they arrived at the conclusion, and that was done already the day of the death, the day of the autopsy, that Lee Harvey Oswald was a sole assassin, then everything had to fit.
Why is the autopsy photographs, the original autopsy photographs, so important, and why were they hidden? Why were they hidden? That alone should tell you something. If it doesn't, I don't know what will. Because the original autopsy photographs that were taken by this man named Pitzer, who worked in Bethesda at the moment that his body was brought in, the next morning he came in there and he started taking all the pictures. Because the pictures that we have been shown by the mainstream, lamestream media, and the pictures that we've been shown in the history books and all the papers and the magazine articles and everywhere on the internet are pictures of JFK laying on a gurney with his head supported by a piece of steel, right? But what they didn't show us was that the entire back of his head, the skull, was blown out. Just like that, blown out. And it is in perfect, it's aligned perfectly with a bullet that was mercury loaded, mercury filled. Now, the guy that tried in 1967 to have the body exhumed was connected with the gentleman that knew that the bullets had been filled with mercury, all right? And he tried and tried to get the body exhumed. He went so far as to file a lawsuit to get the body exhumed because mercury never leaves the body. It's impossible to leave the body because it gets absorbed by the cellular, on a cellular level, a lot, like all down the face and everything. Apparently it goes everywhere and it cannot be removed. Well, he had been granted by a judge, okay, we'll do the body exhumation. Well, he granted it. A federal judge did. And guess what happened to him? Boop. The next day, dead as a doornail. Coincidence, you might say? Coincidence? Really? Lots of coincidences, huh? So they dropped the case. And I said, well, forget that.
All the shots had to come from back to front, from right to left, and from up downward. And no matter what they had found, it was going to be squeezed in. That's what gave birth to the single bullet theory, which has been attributed primarily to Arlen Specter, now U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania, but which was then seized upon by everybody because they had to grab, as a drowning man floundering in a sea with tempestuous storms, they've got to grab at something to survive. They already had everything in place. How could they put this together? Well,
this is Cyril Retch, the nation's #1 pathological expert. He's testified at over 2,000 trials about pathology. He's a #1 nation's expert. Let's back up a little bit. I want y'all to hear what he says, okay? This guy knows what he's talking about, right? So take a listen to what he has to say. He is, again, Cyril C. They call him Cy. Just C-I. C-Y, and his last name is W-R-E-T-C-H. Take a listen to what he says.
Oswald was a sole assassin, then everything had to fit. That all the shots had to come from back to front, from right to left, and from up downward. And no matter what they had found, it was going to be squeezed in. That's what gave birth to the single bullet theory, which has been attributed primarily to Arlen Specter, now U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania, but which was then seized upon by everybody because they had to grab, as a drowning man floundering in a sea with tempestuous storms, they've got to grab at something to survive. They already had everything in place. How could they put this together? Well, they come up with the theory that the bullet that hit John Kennedy in the back, at its now new upward revised location, coursed through his upper chest, base of the neck area, emerged from the level of the knot of the tie, which is where the hole was that the pathologist had missed on the night of the autopsy, and then re-entered John Connolly's back, pierced his right lung, fractured the right fifth rib, destroying 4 inches of that bone, exited from the front of John Connolly's right chest, re-entered the back of John Connolly's right wrist, led to a comminuted or shattered fracture of the distal end of the radius, a very dense, heavy bone in a 6'4" guy like John Connolly, severed almost completely the radial nerve, which is the nerve that permits the thumb to hold something in apposition with the fingers, exited from the front of the governor's right wrist, re-entered the governor's left thigh, went down, struck the femur, the large bone from the hip to the knee, bounced back out, came out through the same small hole, a quarter of an inch or so in diameter in the skin, and then from his clothing onto a stretcher. And you see, that is the single bullet theory. That stretcher bullet, Commission Exhibit 399, that we critics referred to as the magic bullet, that is the hero of the Warren Commission report. That is the sine qua non. That is the linchpin, the keystone. Without the single bullet theory, you cannot have a sole assassin. My favorite picture of all the pictures, and it's one for which I take no credit, but it's the one that if I had to give up every single thing, including the Zapruder film, this is the one thing that I would hold on to that totally destroys them, and that is the pictures. It's a composite which they made, and to this day, I bet you they'd give anything not to have made that composite. It shows sample bullets fired into cotton wadding. It shows a sample bullet fired through a goat carcass breaking one rib, and it shows a sample bullet fired through a human cadaver breaking a radius. They had no bullets that broke both bones, as they claim the single bullet, 399, did. Well, when you look at the composite, the ball game's over. Let's go home. The case is over. Close up shop. The judge has just dismissed the case because the prosecution is giving us this evidence that shows that it can't be done. There is the stretcher bullet in all of its pristine grandeur. The bullets fired into cotton wadding have just as much deformity at the base. That's just from firing. A bullet fired through a goat carcass rib shows significant deformity, and a bullet fired through the radius of a human cadaver, forget about it. They have mushrooming, peeling back effect. In fact, some of the bullets fragmented. Don't forget, they took the bullets that in their minds and eyes were the least damaged. And that is their experiment, which shows that it can't be done.
Here are bullet fragments taken from Governor Connolly's body during the surgery following the assassination. It is interesting to note that there are more fragments here than missing from the Commission's bullet. As can be seen in this X-ray of Governor Connolly's broken wrist, there were more metal fragments still in his body than are missing from the slug the Commission claimed caused the wound.
Well, only a person with an IQ of 40 or less could believe anything that's in the Warren Commission report.
And they've tried so hard to hide the real facts behind it, too, that I think right now the count has gone up to 102 people have had one kind of mysterious death or another that were related to trying to get out the truth about the Kennedy assassination, including the man I was asked to kill.
After reviewing all this information, I must admit that I tried to hold myself independent of my emotions. I counseled Zach to do the same. But it is difficult to so insulate yourself that the humanity within me and within Zach are hurt. I'm hurt. I'm hurt for the men and women that I know that dedicated their lives to this investigation. And it's a difficult thing.
Mr. Midnight Movie?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Hello?
How are you?
I'm almost done here. Can you give me 4 minutes and 6 seconds?
Absolutely. I will. I'll just put myself on mute, or do you want me to hang up?
No, don't hang up. I'm going to show you my screen so you can watch this man talking.
Right.
This guy is the closing thing. He's the big thing right here. Let's go back and watch what he says. He is Dick Stilling, the FBI supervisor that took every bit of evidence that was taken from the FBI closets. Here he is.
Bullets fragmented. They, don't forget, they took the bullets that in their minds and eyes were the least damaged. And that is their experiment, which shows that it can't be done.
Here are bullet fragments taken from Governor Connolly's body during the surgery following the assassination. It is interesting to note that there are more fragments here than missing from the Commission's bullet. As can be seen in this X-ray of Governor Connolly's broken wrist, there were more metal fragments still in his body than are missing from the slug the Commission claimed caused the wound.
Well, only a person with an IQ of 40 or less could believe anything that's in the Warren Commission report.
And they've tried so hard to hide the real facts behind it, too, that I think right now the count has gone up to 102 people have had one kind of mysterious death or another that were related to trying to get out the truth about the Kennedy assassination, including the man I was asked to kill.
After reviewing all this information, I must admit that I tried to hold myself independent of my emotions. I counseled Zach to do the same. But it is difficult to so insulate yourself that the humanity within me and within Zach are hurt. I'm hurt. I'm hurt for the men and women that I know that dedicated their lives to this investigation. And it's a difficult thing to mentally deal with. But I can only see the solution for all of us is, and I'm talking about the agents in the FBI, is the truth, the facts. Yeah, I think the state of Texas, perhaps the Attorney General, should impanel a grand jury with all the legal power and authority of a grand jury to at least satisfy their legal jurisdiction of a murder case. This grand jury should have the authority to go after whatever information is necessary to gather, whatever witnesses need to be interviewed, and charge whatever people, regardless of their station in life, with violations of any crimes that may or may not have been committed, and that basically let the chips fly where they may.
In my work on this case, I have been in contact with my fellow FBI agents, CIA operatives, known organized crime figures, and credible JFK assassination researchers. I have come to understand the full implications of how the Kennedy assassination still affects America today. I feel a profound sense of betrayal by my government, for which I worked for 28 years. The news media,
and my former boss, J. Edgar Hoover. I challenge you, my fellow Americans, to demand truth and justice from our government. You owe it to yourselves. You owe it to me. And you owe it to John F. Kennedy.
And there you go. Da-da-da. Mr. Midnight Floovies?
I'm here. I was listening.
Hi, Floop Pops. What are you doing? Yeah, this is an amazing thing that has... What's up, Vic? This is an amazing thing that has just recently come out, and it got banned. It's been banned everywhere. Every time they find it, they ban it, and it gets re-released and re-released and re-released and re-released. It's the guy that comes forward and tells the truth about what happened in the John F. Kennedy assassination. So, anyway. Yeah. You know, it was so funny. What the guy said about the Warren Commission cracks me up. I've read most of the Warren Commission's report, and I thought the funniest thing in there was the fake umbrella guy that they brought in. I thought he was hysterical until I realized, after I listened to this gentleman, that the bullet, these idiots, they hung themselves in the Warren Commission. Hold on just a second. They tried to say that the single bullet that went through all these people and came out was pristine, and they even showed it's evidence number C399. Here's the bullet. Here's the single bullet that did it. And then they go so far as to say, and we even tested the same bullet. Well, they said that they shot it through cotton, they shot it through a goat carcass, and they shot it through this gel stuff. And each time they showed pictures of the bullet, and they were completely destroyed. So they're so stupid, they just completely blew their whole theory in the Warren Commission. This is actually, you can see the Warren Commission online. And he said that alone, right there, he said, out of all the pictures I've ever seen in the world about JFK and the assassination, that alone is what ought to tell everybody in this country. Because if you can prove that there was more, if not, then there was somebody on the grassy knoll, boom, there's a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy right there. That's what you need. And that's what they did. And that's what this gentleman came forward. He's a very rich man out of Denmark, and he decided, fuck this. Hold on, I got to ring Dr. B in. He said, screw this, I'm going to do this. And he got backing, and he got all the money he needed. And yes, a lot of these people were paid handsomely because they were putting their freaking lives on the line and the lives of their children on the line, the lives of their family on the line when they did this. And so they made it worth their while. Dr. B, what's up? Hi, Mr. Midnight Movie.
Hey, Debbie. How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Chilling for this weekend. Yeah.
That's good. Mr. Midnight Movie, what says you?
Well, I was listening to what you were saying. I guess you joined us kind of late, and I joined late too. Debbie, has been talking about the JFK case. And Debbie, have you ever thought about doing interviews with the questions and other things that you have, like of people on both opposing sides?
Well, the only opposing side would be the Warren Commission report, because anything other than that, everybody's just going, well, it's just the Warren Commission. You just whatever the Warren Commission, just like the people that are spellbound and hypnotized by the bullshit that's out there. And that's the only opposing side, would be the Warren Commission report, which they said it was a single bullet that went through all these things, and it's hysterical. And what is even funnier than that is the testimony of the supposed umbrella man that came forward after so many, 20 some odd years. And it was a joke. No, excuse me.
You know what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because I'll tell you something, Debbie, even if they promote the Warren Commission report, because because I'm not saying you're preaching to the choir, because I'm not sure of it. And most of the people who are on your, like who you know on Spreaker, probably more than likely would agree with you. I'm just saying that it would be an interesting thing for you to shoot back these theories to someone who agrees with the Warren the Warren Commission or the Warren Report, because I don't, I've listened to it and I've looked at it, but I would still be making primarily a not as educated. I wouldn't come in with as educated. It would be an educated guess, but it would be more of a guess than what you're giving, which is much more of a more studied answer. And I think it would be interesting to see what a person like. I forget the guy's name, but he wrote the book Open and Shut, and there was I forget it, who wrote the most recent book on that was. And he did the Charles Manson Bugosi. If you could get him and interview him about the case, that would be really interesting. And you could tell him all of the evidence that you have, because he's written, like, I don't know how big, but he's written volumes on this. And I would just be interested in hearing someone who's educated. Like someone who's really written volumes on that case and answering your questions. Because I don't know how, I don't know how well it would do under the scrutiny of or how it would do under scrutiny. I'm just,
Well, on my Facebook, I am friends with probably the world's most sought-after person in the investigation of John F. Kennedy. It is a gentleman that was the attorney that worked under Lyndon Baines Johnson. He actually worked under him. He was there. He was there, and he is very much aware of what's going on, and he and I have spoke many times, and he backs up everything I say, because most of everything I say I get straight from him or another person that's just like him, people that know the truth, and that is what he is. And I can tell you his name if you want to know his name.
Now, has he ever gone like? Now, would this person be okay to be interviewed like on a live, like on your radio show?
Absolutely. I've just never asked him. He's talked to me. His name is Bar McClellan. Bar McClellan is friends with me on Facebook, and he doesn't accept just anybody's friendship on Facebook. Okay? He accepted my friendship because I told him what I wanted to tell him. I said this, that, and the other. And we've chatted on Facebook several times about it. And I've just never asked him to come on the air. But he will back up everything I'm saying, because he's where I began. I got his attention. He got my attention when I realized who he was, and he wrote an amazing book about it, just because that was the only way he could get it out, other than if you do anything on television, it's not going to be shown. If you do anything on video, they're just going to take it down. They can't stop a book. The CIA cannot stop a book. The government can't stop it. They can try, but they can't. But they can stop video and they can stop audio, because they just go in and jerk it out of the theaters or what have you. One of the most telling things that was done about JFK, Mr. Midnight Movie, and Dr. Bristol, is a film that was made. It was produced out of Hollywood in 1992, I think, 92. It stayed in the movies for 2 weeks and was shut down out of every movie. Coincidence?
What movie was that?
It is called Executive Action. And it starred, and they freaked out when they were going to see it. Some of the CIA and the FBI said, "Oh my God!" And they ordered, through the government, they ordered every one of them to be pulled and shut down. And it was never seen again. And it resurfaced on the internet. It's very hard to find, but Sonny found it, and it gives it's called Executive. Is it Executive Action? No, it's Executive Action. It stars
Is Robert Ryan in that?
It stars Robert Ryan, Burt Lancaster, Will Greer, Gilbert Green. It came out in it came out in '73, and it was pulled from the theaters. Boom, and it reappeared on the internet in the year 2001, and they can't stop it because it's been pulled off of YouTube, it's been pulled off of Netflix, it's been pulled off of everything. You can't find it anywhere, but there is one copy of it where you cannot bother, where you can't get videos taken down, and that is a website known as, let me see if I can find it. I found it the other day, and it might already be gone. See, they do a lot of things with this stuff. It was on, what is that website where all those really weird, mean videos are on? You know what I'm talking about? It's called, oh gosh, what is it? It's, hold on, let me see if I'll put in Executive Action, the film, Executive Action. I'll show it to you. It's on that website where you can't get videos removed. It's on Dailymotion, dailymotion.com. Excuse me, what were you going to say?
I was going to say Vimeo, but yeah, you can get videos removed off of there, I believe.
Dailymotion, and because it's out of the UK. Da-da-da. And it's yeah, that's why you should always believe shit out of the UK when it has to do with us, because they have no reason to be scared of us. They're like,
I think the UK is full of shit too in a lot of ways.
Their mainstream media is, yeah. But if you see something on BBC 3, 4, 7, one of those, the lower BBCs, yeah, it's more than
they're allowing refugees into their country, and they're saying, but you can't
say that negates the validity of something being shown on BBC 3 or BBC 7. I know what you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying that the BBC is. I mean, the British government has a lot of hate crime laws there that really restrict freedom of speech.
Okay. But what I'm saying, though, is... go ahead, I'm listening.
Well, yeah, I mean, Debbie, I'm going to be honest with you. I just come at this with very skeptical... I come at a lot of conspiracy theories with a lot of skeptical eyes.
But what's to call it a conspiracy? See, that's what everybody everybody labels things drama. Oh, that's drama. He has drama. He's full of drama. Drama, drama, drama. That's the new label that everybody gives when somebody's upset. Oh, they're just having drama. Okay? Well, I think that people also gave the little moniker of conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy theory. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's facts that you're given that add up to the fact that that Lee Harvey Oswald was not the assassin of John F. Kennedy, period. That's not a conspiracy theory. Is that his wife shot him? That's a conspiracy theory. A conspiracy theory is also that Lyndon Baines Johnson had ordered the hit. Those are conspiracy theories. Okay. Those are crazy notions that people come up with. There's crazy notions out there that Mrs. Kennedy shot him. That's a conspiracy bullshit crazy theory. Okay? I'm not talking...
Cannot be proven by science.
Exactly.
These are self-sealing theories.
Well, the only thing I present to my listeners is 100% facts. I'm not talking about somebody's opinion. I'm not talking about what somebody thinks. I'm talking about facts, 100% irrefutable facts. And if it looks like somebody was there other than the made-up bullshit of Lee Harvey Oswald, then so be it. Call it a conspiracy theory if you want to. But it's not. It's 100% facts, period.
Now, is it just under the scientific realm that there's, hyperbole theory and then law?
What was your question?
No, I said, is it just under scientific, like science where it's hyperbole or hyperbole, then it comes to theory, then it, and then it graduates to a law. I don't know if that made
Dr.
any
B,
sense.
do you know what he's talking about? I know what the
I think he's referring to the scientific method, and there's a difference between theory and law, and of course you don't mind explaining what it is for a general audience, right?
Go for it.
Please, I'm asking
Okay.
you to, please.
Okay. Now, a theory is a contemplative and rational type of abstract generalized thinking, or the results of such thinking. And, when you, let's say you go through the
Wait. Dr. B, can we first start with hypothesis? And then.
Oh, yeah. That's
so
right.
it's hypothesis, theory, and then law. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Now, scientific method is an ongoing process in which someone has to make observations. And, what do I see in nature? This could be from one's own experiences, thoughts, or reading. Then they get to think of questions like, why does that pattern occur? Then they formulate a hypothesis, like, what are the general causes of the phenomenon I'm wondering about? Then they set up experiments to test predictions, when they developed them in the first place. Like, if my hypothesis is correct, then I expect A, B, C, Then we gather data to test predictions, with relevant data coming from the literature, new observations, or formal experiments. Thorough testing requires replication or repeatability to verify results, which makes experiment scientific. Now, a hypothesis can either be proven or disproven. If it is proven, then it becomes a theory. If not, the hypothesis would have to be, either refined, altered, expanded, or rejected. The cycle repeats itself whenever someone conducts investigations. That's the theory-making process, if you will.
Now, after something graduates to theory, what is then the difference between theory and a law?
Now, when we mention law, we're not talking about something that we're governed by. A scientific law is like a statement based on repeated experimental observations that describes some aspects of a universe. The law always applies under the same conditions, and it implies that there's a causal relationship involving its elements. Factual and well-confirmed statements like, mercury is liquid at standard temperature and pressure, are considered too specific to qualify as scientific laws. They differ from scientific theories in that they do not posit a mechanism or explanation of phenomena. They're merely distillations of the results of repeated observation. As such, a law is limited in applicability to circumstances resembling those already observed, and may be found false when extrapolated. Now, if examples include Ohm's law, and it only applies to linear networks. Newton's law of universal gravitation. It only applies to weak gravitational fields. The early laws of aerodynamics, like Bernoulli's principle, do not apply in case of comprehensible flow such as occurs in transonic and supersonic flight. And you probably get what I'm saying at this point. These laws remain useful, but only under the conditions where they apply. It's not limited to natural sciences. The social sciences also contain scientific laws. And
such as?
Well, you can say political science has, a method of scientific, scientific method, it applies to that, natural laws. An example of a scientific law in the social sciences is like Zipf's law. It's an empirical law formulated under, using mathematics, particularly statistics, that refers to the fact that many types of data studied in the physical and social sciences can be approximated with a Zipfian distribution, one of a family of related discrete power law probability distributions. And I think it has to do with probability.
Mr. Midnight Movie and Dr. B, can I tell y'all something?
Sure.
Who shot John F. Kennedy has been one of our country's most enduring mysteries. But back in 1979, FBI expert Dr. Vincent Gwynn provided open and shut evidence that confirmed the single bullet theory, and that there were only 2 bullets fired. If not for his testimony, the presence of a second shooter that November day in Dealey Plaza would have been much harder to deny. There is no evidence for 3 bullets, 4 bullets, or anything more than 2, but there is clear evidence that there are 2, said Gwynn before the Committee on Assassinations. After further studies, researchers are now saying that Gwynn's analysis was fundamentally flawed in a new video released called American Scientists Next Week. Using the same technique, researchers analyzed similar bullets in an attempt to see how chemically different the bullets might be from one another. The research was then used to determine how definitely chemical analysis could be used to rule out other possible bullets and shooters. According to a study of the 30 bullets analyzed from the team of Texas A&M University, matched an assassination bullet chemically, meaning that the findings in the 1979 report were much less specific than experts believed and to testify to at the time. Clifford Spielberg of Texas A&M University was one of the lead authors of the study. Quote, so according to Dr. Gwynn's testimony that the bullets used in the murder were chemically unique, Spielberg told, we must have been involved in the Kennedy assassination since we have fragments that match. Okay? And then it goes on to say his team used the same technique that experts for the FBI back in the 70s like Gwynn used, neutron activation analysis. This process is used to determine the elements found within a material such as lead from the bullet's fragments. Using radioactive decay, researchers can analyze the spectra of the radioactive emissions, which are well known to science, then determine the exact concentration of elements found within the material according to science. The bullet components of the JFK assassination study were seriously messed up, Spiegelman said in a recent interview. It was not understood that the investigation should have been multidisciplinary and not just chemical. If Spiegelman is right, there is no way to rule out a second shooter on chemical analysis alone. Therefore, the 1979 report is fundamentally flawed. 4 chemicals were analyzed in the assassination report: antimony, copper, arsenic, and silver. FBI experts testified that if a bullet had the same chemical composition as another bullet, then both bullets would have logically come from the same source. Right?
Right.
According to the 1979 Committee on Assassinations investigation, the chemical analysis of the bullet's fragments found the assassination proved that there could only have been 2 bullets, likely meaning that Oswald was the one and only shooter. Quote, the neutron activation analysis for... Oh, gosh, it's the big guys. Hold on. Let me deny this call. Ooh, scary stuff. That's the hackers. That's the big guys. The neutron activation analysis further supported the single bullet theory by indicating that there was evidence of only 2 bullets. Right? Spiegelman maintains he's not purporting the existence of a second shooter, only that the testimony used to come to the conclusion that the bullet fragments came from only 2 bullets, meaning that there could not have been a second shooter, is scientifically impossible. End of story.
Yeah.
Does that help at all, Mr. Midnight Movie? That's pretty scientific. Hello?
Yes, it does. No, I'm listening. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Well, let's listen to what he had to say. Here he is. Here's Mr. Spiegelman himself, the distinguished professor of University of Texas A&M. You ready? It's only 2 minutes long.
If there's more than 2 bullets in the Kennedy party, then the explanation of only Oswald shooting becomes problematical. That's why this particular piece of the evidence is of interest at all. The bullet components of the JFK assassination study were seriously messed up because it was not understood that the investigation should have been multidisciplinary and not just chemical. What they measured in the bullets initially were antimony, copper, arsenic, and silver. If done well, these can be measured reasonably accurately. The underlying intuitive belief was that if bullets had the same composition, so a crime scene bullet and a bullet in a suspect's possession had the same composition, then they basically had the same source. Source should be, say, the pot of lead, but the way the FBI would use it is they would testify that they came from the same box. So that's the intuitive belief behind what the procedure is. And because it was chemical, just chemical, key elements of the analysis, statistics, and metallurgy were not used, and that caused people to jump to conclusions that in hindsight there was no reason or evidence that they should have jumped to. So if you had the beginning, middle, and end of a production lot, the assumption would be if you took a sample of lead from the beginning of the production process, the middle of the production process, and the end, they would stay the same, and then yellow would be a different pot than blue, and green would be different than yellow, etc. So those were the assumptions, not checked, but they were the assumptions. In actual fact, these are actually measured from actual bullet production. This is antimony. So qualitatively, this picture is what the FBI was assuming. This picture is what actually you get. And they took these beliefs that every batch of lead was the same and that different batches were almost surely different as a religious belief. But they could have checked them, but they never did. And when they were checked, they turned out to be false. I'm not saying there was another shooter. I'm not saying there wasn't another shooter. I'm saying that this testimony that he claims he knows the number of bullets from the chemistry is fundamentally flawed, and that is being kind. But then the FBI didn't use any statisticians. So it's another example of not appreciating that there's another field of science that could have helped them out.
I'm sorry, that was the end of it. That was the end of it. So that's scientific evidence that it's impossible. Hang on, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to go check to see who this call is. Don't go anywhere, okay?
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere.
Posted in 2016.
Hello?
March, still.
Hey there!
Hey there.
Howdy.
Hi. Who is this?
Hey, baby.
Hi.
I'm a KBM member.
Martino. I was arrested for swatting. How are you today?
Good. Very good. Interesting to hear. Did I hear fire?
Yeah,
no,
fire alarm. Fire.
No, I thought I heard fire.
I heard you do interviews. I'm Nicholas Kyle Martino. I'd like to do an interview. Google
Really?
me. I was arrested.
Really? I'm talking about JFK tonight. I'm sorry. And who
No,
killed him.
well, you can write about it tomorrow. It's right now. It's right now.
This is really the
JFK. Who's that guy?
Who's that guy? Is this really
Hey,
would you say KVM?
Yeah. No, I'm not KVM. KVM, I'm Moto. I don't know if you remember me. You probably remember KVM, but I don't know. If
KVM's
you remember
retarded. Don't be talking to KVM. It's how you get rude.
No, dude, KVM's not that bad. He's alright.
KVM's a bitch. He blocked everybody. You talk to us sooner.
Oh, yeah.
But real talk, if you Google me, my name is Nicholas Kyle Martino. I went by Scorchy Poo. I swatted the Big Ben Medical Regional Medical Center.
You did?
So I did.
Who's this JFK guy? What did he do? What's he doing?
I swatted
You get hacked?
politicians. I'll swat Pennsylvania Avenue right now.
Yo, is JFK.com a website?
No, it's not a website. Y'all stop being goofy. Who's the guy with the blonde hair?
That's who are you, dude? Who are you, blonde hair guy?
I don't know.
You don't know
I'm
who you
trying
are?
to figure that out myself. I'm having an identity crisis.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
dude, JFK is a website. We're taking it.
Oh my God, y'all are horrible. I got to get back to my show. Y'all.
Wait, no, you need to interview
I don't even know who
me.
JFK
Hey, I
is.
want to interview.
I'm gonna swat JFK if you say
Hey,
you want to talk.
I'll drop the Minecraft database right now for an interview. I'll make it public.
Yo, why does JFK.com have FTP open? Huh?
I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know what you're talking about. You're all crazy.
Wait,
Yo, you know what?
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Oh, wait, KVM.
I gotta go.
No, say hi to KVM.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Say hi to KVM.
No, wait, don't.
Oh, those rotten, hung up on them. God damn it, I hung up on it. I got to join the right call here. Hold on, let me pick back up on the boys.
Philosophy.
I am so sorry. Oh, hackers. What do you do, hackers? Friends. I've told y'all I have some friends in some low places.
Well, we didn't hear the show. We were talking. Do you know what Dr. B's major is, by the way?
Multidisciplinarian. Get it?
Oh man, you've been listening. Okay, so yeah, you've had.
I forget
That's the
nothing.
first time that that I've actually heard of that.
Yeah,
And,
he's a cool guy. He's a very cool guy.
it seems really analytical.
He's amazing.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, these guys are wanting me to interview them, and half of their Skype names are just empty. They just use boom, 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 boom. They don't even have a name. They don't even have a name. The only one I know is never mind. The only one I know is I know one of them through an IRC, and apparently they're going to take JFK.com. They're sending.
Oh my God!
They're laughing at me. They said, "I'll give up the Microsoft something interview if you'll interview me right now." He says, "I'm ready to talk. Do it right now." And I'm going, "No, I've got some other guys on the line."
You can't ring them in, or are you can't ring them in, or is that?
He's saying, "I know all about JFK. Please join." You didn't even say you knew who JFK was, you mullet, and now you know all about him. Yeah, I could probably ring them in. They're going to be real excited. I mean, real talkative. They're calling again.
Hey, Debbie, I got to get myself to bed, so I'm going to bed. I stayed up too late. Well, I didn't stay up that late last night, but I'm getting a little bit tired.
All right. Well, damn it! I thought you'd stay up late tonight on Saturday night, you mullet.
I got to work on Sunday.
Go away! Stop calling me. All right, I'm back completely with you guys. I don't.
Ring me.
You know who it is. Look at their names. Look at this name. There's no.
I know who it is.
Look, there's nothing there. There's nothing there, and there's that one. All right. Do y'all want? Are you going to hang up Mr. Midnight Movie? Are you going to?
Yeah, I'm getting tired, and I got to get up in the morning. I want to start getting up early in the morning.
Oh, and you were doing so good. Even the listeners in the chat room are going, "Oh my God, it's so great, Mr. Midnight Movie's back to talking a whole lot and everything," and stuff like that. And I'm like, "Yeah, he is."
Let me ask these guys questions.
You want to talk to some of these guys for a second? I can ring them in. He said, "Hurry, you hurry! Don't push me around."
Oh, I'm tired.
He said, "Finna come." I'm sorry.
I had an interesting talk with Dr. B. That was very interesting, by the way.
Really?
That whole conversation. I'd love to continue that sometime.
What were y'all talking about?
Well, you weren't even in the room.
Well,
we were talking about his major and all of that, which in all the things which I guess it entailed. I was just gathering into some of it and just asking him certain questions about it. I didn't get as far as I wanted to.
You should see what Jewish producers said about you in the chat room. Mr. Midnight Movie eats like 3 men returning from space.
Oh.
That is so bad. There's a JFK. There's a Les Turn. Mike Moz is in the chat room. All these sock accounts are in the chat room. Debbie will be Dr. B's campaign manager. We have time travel technology. I was shown the future. This is JFK speaking. Dr. B is my son. I cloned him with my genetics, and he will be president in 2036. Y'all got to go look at the chat room. There's a bunch of sock accounts in there. Mike Mazza says, "I'm going to play hide and Tootsie Roll with Goose." He goes, Wild Goose.
Says the tranny in the photo.
Yes, Goose is an FBI snitch, they said. Fuck Goose, says Mike Mazza. Eric, you stud. If Trump keeps pushing to expose the elite political pedos, he will likely get shot. Sadly. Y'all need to shut up. Y'all are being mean. Mike and his hose. Look at the picture of Mike and his hose. Oh my God, it's
Goofy
funny.
Bone broke.
Yeah, this one called Goofy Bone Broke. There's a bunch of them in there. Goose goes, why are we still, Wild Goose says, why are we still focused on who killed JFK when what I really want to know is who's going to man up and kill Trump? It's horrible. Oh my God.
Oh, these are buttholes.
They're
or
gonna,
assholes.
They're going to get us on an algorithm, you mullet, since I said that. They're going to, wait a minute, we heard kill and Trump the same sentence. And the men in the men in the black suits are going to pull up in front of my house and go, yes, we're with the FBI. We need to talk to you about something. Yeah, fuck them. Find me. That's what I say. Find me. Anyway, it feels good to be off the grid. So,
Debbie, wait, before I go to Betty Bye, have you beaten your sugar addiction today?
Why did it make us all turn on Goofy Bone? JFK lives training cock. Mr. Midnight Movie's annoying. I got to get out of the chat room. They're cracking me up over there. I love a good troll. I love a good troll, the good psychic account. Okay, you said, did I beat my sugar addiction? Do you want me to lie or tell you the truth?
Tell me the truth and then lie to me.
I ate 2 pieces of pound cake today with strawberry dressing that I made, strawberry topping that I made. I made the pound cake and the dressing. And that's all I've had. I mean, for dinner I had baked chicken and vegetables, and for lunch I had rice. I'm sticking to it, bitch, and you can't stand it.
You are
What? Stop. What are you laughing about? No, I'm doing a great, serious...
You're not sticking to it when you're having 2 pieces of pound cake.
Well, what did you have, Mr. Big Shot Talking Man, huh? You probably had 9 gallons of... Wait a minute, I also had something else I just remembered. I had a Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Okay, blow me. I don't care. I'm skinny again. I've always been skinny. You know that shit. I made a video today.
Oh.
Mike Jones, Bill Wagner spammed JFK to death. Sock
the
accounts.
JP is supposed to put that letter that I've written to MFX out, and he hasn't done it yet.
Oh, by the way, guys, I have some information on that. Would you like to know what it is?
Yes, go ahead, please.
I don't know what I did with it, but I'll see if I can find it. There is...
Oh, God damn it!
You need to, hush! Stop it! Okay, there's a guy he specializes in how to write a letter, a pitch letter, and he talks about what parts of the pitch letter are wrong and what parts of the pitch letter are right. And I thought you would like to hear that. Maybe you do, right?
Yes. Well, is it on the porn letter?
Yes, it's on the porn letter. Forbes magazine came out with an article called How Not to Write a Pitch. Oh, blow me with my ad block. Your ad block is turned on. What is this shit with people making us turn off our fucking ad block now? You're running an ad block. Hold on. Forbes magazine's obviously telling me to get it turned. All right, I'll turn off the second one. You fuck. Hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Pause your ad block. Hold on. They're getting me for this one. You piece of shits. Okay, how not to write a pitch letter. Okay? I have written pitch letters like this before. It's those boys again. All right, here. Hold on a minute. Here is, have I got it? It says, here are the flaw. Okay, hold on just a second, guys. God damn it. Hold on. Don't go away. Yes, this is Debbie Daly. Leave a message. Beep.
Beep!
What? I'm talking about JFK.
Yes, I have information on JFK. These documents are highly secret. I'm going to need you to tweet child porn.
54 and son is at home failing and doxing a Black Hat King while he's smoking blunts in the club with O's on my lap.
Sleep, is this you?
Nah, Sleep is gay. Fuck that guy.
Is this God?
Sleep, are you talking VV3 Sleep?
Is this
What?
God? Is this God? On Twitter?
No, this is Moda. M-O-D-A.
This is Moda. Yeah.
This is Casey. Casey.
This is Chief the Cat from Lizard Squad. How are you tonight?
KVM is gay.
KVM is gay, and so is Sleep the God, right?
They're all both gay. Are you live right now? Where's your thing
Yes,
at?
I am. I'm on the air. Is this you, Fire? I heard your voice.
Hey, can I tell your streamers about fucking that one folder on your desktop full of child porn?
Nice. Thank you.
Hey, I got you rooted. I have a rootkit on your computer right now. I see the child porn. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to you viewers.
Yeah, do you
I'm not
interview
lying.
hackers still?
I'm not lying. Yeah, I do. I talk to hackers. Are you a hacker?
We're all hackers.
Are you a
That's how
Russian?
you got rootkitted.
Are you a Russian
That's how you
hacker?
got-
I've been outed.
Yeah, I'm a Russian hacker.
You're a Russian
Hey, I
hacker?
speak Russian.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go back to my
Unity,
show.
I got
They're
you.
fixing to get off the show, they said. So if they do, I'm going to pick you guys up. So just bear with me.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the guys. I'm so sorry,
To
guys.
align one set expectations with the locals.
He's just doxing me. He's like, Tom Cruise fucking with your fat, ugly-ass moms who get depression because they deformed son is at home failing, doxing a black-haired king while smoking blunts with the hose in my lap. I'll pick you up and put you on my dick, you mullet. I know that's you, Fire. I know it's Fire. There's no way he would know. There's no way. Stop. There's no way he would know that I say mullet. I know it's him. Russian hacker clan. He said he just renamed the conversation to Russian hacker clan.
Oh, yeah, right. The Democrats pushed that narrative for too darn long.
I know. It's got to be Fire. It's somebody that knows I say the word mullet, so I don't know who it is, but it's somebody that knows.
Oh, mullet.
Mr. Midnight Movie.
Yes,
What
you
do you-
haven't. So let's get back to the. And we were.
Oh,
we weren't on the air, but yeah. Well, never mind. We were talking about stoicism when we were off the air, and we were going in the difference between Epicureanism and. But go ahead and read your the letter, Debbie, before I go to Betty. Bye.
Find the letter. That's from the Three Stooges.
Tell them about the dream.
Tell them about the dream. Blow me. The pitch letter that they give, I can't find the one I found earlier, but I'll just tell you another one.
God damn
You
it.
Stop. He gets all upset. Sample pitch letter. Anyway, it was really good, and it sounded like something that you really should hear, because basically, I know you're wanting to get these people for interviews, but basically it's pitching. It's the same thing. Because so far, anybody I've ever invited to be interviewed on this broadcast has accepted. I've never. Wait a minute. I did have somebody turn me down, and that was
Larry Elder.
Larry fucking Elder. And he agreed to come on, but then his stupid assistant couldn't. She screwed it all up or some shit. What is that? Don't give me any documents. No, wait a minute. What was that thing? What was that noise? What? Hold on. Okay, I don't know what I don't know. Something happened. Let me make sure under my preferences that they can automatically take a download. So what they're saying is, say something like, okay, this is what it was. I even wrote this down somewhere in my briefcase. It's out in my car. I was writing this down in my office the other day because I was thinking about it, and it said, "Dear whoever, Mr. Midnight Movie," you know, the guy that you're writing, we have recently been made aware of is it MSX porn? MFX?
The new MFX porn.
The new MFX porn, okay, that has been produced out of Brazil. It brings much curiosity. It tweaks our curiosity as to why it appears. I could really write this letter. Please let me write this letter, because if I can sit, I can sit and do this, and it'll be brilliant. Being porn connoisseurs ourselves, or something like that, in the United States.
Yes, that sounds brilliant, Debbie. Brilliant.
You sound brilliant.
No, I'm telling you, I really like. JP, get the fuck on the call here.
You fucking
I
idiot.
go to bed in
Yeah.
Slumberland. Will you guys make me some porn stars?
Fucking idiot. Hey, who got a porn
Instead
star?
of eating cake, you should eat porn stars. Go ahead.
Who had a porn star on their show, me or you?
Who was this person? Who's this webcam chick? I don't know.
Mr. Midnight Movie. It was Sierra Sinclair, one of the biggest porn stars in L.A. Beautiful girl, blonde. Who got her, me or you? Me. So shut up about porn stars.
You said you could get more, by the way.
Oh, my God. Okay, here's what happens, Dr. Bristol. He challenges me. I can get a porn star before you can. I said, is that a dare? Did I hear a dare? Did somebody dare me? I went out and I selected the best one I could find. Her name was Sierra Sinclair. She was on my show. Book it. Screw you. I won. Goodbye.
Okay, you're right. It was Granny. She's famous for granny porn. But go ahead.
My God, Sierra Sinclair.
Oh,
she's fucking awesome. She's beautiful, and she's done over 200 porns. Not only that, she has figured out a way to get rich and make bank off the porn industry, and that is to go into another section no one had ever touched, and that's what she did. And she's brilliant, and I don't care.
What section?
What section? She is teaching pornography to other people, not in a bad way, not how to have sex. She's teaching how to be good at sex, how to sex good.
I could do that.
Like a set said.
Come to my fucking class. I'll show you how to be horny.
This chick's pretty hot, man. Her name is Sierra Sinclair, and she was on the show. You were on the show too. Sierra Sinclair is her name. She's on Facebook. She's on Twitter. She's on Instagram. She's on Flipagram. She's on everything in the world.
Flipagram?
What? It's a new thing.
Come to my class. I'll show you how to be a bastard in the sack.
Well, it's all in the Madonna whore syndrome, which is what I have prescribed to all my life. I was taught that at a very young age. Be the Madonna whore. The Madonna in the kitchen. Hi, everybody, and a whore in the bedroom.
Yes. And the man, you come in with a ski mask and some rope.
No, what I did one time when Victor and I went to stay in the Four Seasons in Dallas just to get away from all these idiots and stuff and get away from all this crazy stuff. We walk in and they go, hi, your room is ready, and we always get the same room. And I said, Victor, go ahead and go on up because I'm going to get something. I'm going to ask this guy at the, he goes, okay. So he goes up there. And in the meantime, I run back out to the valet, get in the car, because I told the guy, I said, don't get that bag. He goes, okay. Get the bag, run into the spa, which is down, you turn left, and you go down these stairs, boom, 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 2 sets of stairs, and you're in the spa. Run into the spa, go and find a locker room, and I get dressed. And I swear to God, what I wore was a micro mini skirt with platform shoes. It was really cold. I had on a big jacket that was really cool looking, and I had put all this makeup on, and I looked, stop sending me those things! And I'd put all this stuff on, and I go up, and I know what room he's in, so I go, and he goes,
I'm eating pound cake!
He goes, oh, I forgot, Dr. Bristol's on the line. And he goes, yeah, and I said, did you call for a hooker? He goes, oh my God, this is going to be fun. Because he can tell this is really going to work out fun. And it was really fun. That's all I'll tell you. It was a really good time. Did you miss me? No.
But,
you know what Russ Martin did one time? I mean, not Russ Martin, but a guy on my Facebook.
Don't fuck with me. I'm eating chocolate. Okay, go ahead.
Russ Martin had a co-host by the name of, what was Russ Martin's co-host name? J.D. Ryan. He's on my Facebook. I talked to J.D. all the time.
Rapist?
No, J.D. Ryan. Okay, J.D.
Rapist?
Yeah,
okay.
Right. It stands for J.D. Ryan Rapist. And he had a girlfriend that was gorgeous, and they used to give her all kinds of shit on the show. They're still on the air, by the way. And it's the Russ Martin Show out of Dallas, #1 show in the 5th Market. Thank you. Good morning. And Russ was always having him tell stories about it because he and his wife actually always loved to play these crazy games. And one night when they were listen to me. They were filming a movie in South Texas, Russ Martin was, all right? Because he wanted to follow up on what Howard Stern did with Private Parts. Well, they had to rent and make 3 different police cars for the movie, right? J.D. Ryan played the part of a police officer, and he drove the cop car home one night and made his wife get dressed, go out in their car. He pulls her over, and they play Naughty Cop and Naughty Arrestee. If you can believe that. And he told that story on radio, and I remember dying laughing whenever J.D. Ryan talked about that, because I thought, that is so funny. He actually turned on the lights and had on the outfit and everything. Isn't that hysterical?
Debbie, the name of the game is Bad Cop, naughty criminal.
I like your wife is out of town and I'm the next door neighbor. That's what we do all the time when I'm joking with Victor. You know,
And don't fuck with me. I'm eating Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah, that's true. You know, a lot of people say, how do you keep, how have you stayed married and everything? And I said, well, because you have to become the other woman, because men by nature crave variety. You're learning pearls here tonight, Dr. Bristol, so shut the fuck up and listen.
One word, Debbie, swinging.
Oh, my God. I don't believe in bringing other bodily fluids into my bed with other people. Are you kidding? That's gross.
Open relationship.
What would you know? You never even had a girlfriend. You date hookers. Shut up.
Bill Clinton cheated on his wife for Monica.
Just think how long you couldn't respond to me after I said that, Mr. Midnight Movie.
Well,
who loves you?
I have an open relationship with all my prostitutes.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Excuse me, I have the hiccups now.
My relationship is closed in contrast. Only one person. Monogamous.
Call me when you have sex. I mean, don't actually call me, but I'm just saying it gets a little bit different after that. But I understand, and I think it's very, very respectable that you and your girlfriend have chosen not to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah, basically, we're virgins, at this point.
Have y'all taken some sort of I've got something on my computer screen. Have y'all taken some sort of an oath to this, or is this just something that you're both doing or whatever?
Well, we're just, a year in our relationship, and we've been in dates since June 11th.
Wow.
I went to bed
with Victor on the third night. Go ahead,
Debbie.
What?
Debbie.
Shut up.
You want to take a... Wait, just shut... No, hold on a second, Debbie, please. Do you want to take a purity oath with me?
You've got your bourgeois voice going, Debbie. He's from L.A., everybody, and he gets a little bourgeois. Debbie.
You want to take your purity oath with me?
Mr. Not Movie. You have to take the 101 over to the 104 and exit at Ventura Highway, and it's on the left. You can't miss it. It's the only Home Depot with the outside part. Sorry. I'm stoned as fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Debbie,
what? Don't say that.
We'll celebrate the consummation.
What would you...
of our purity with sugar-free cheesecake.
You need to realize that you have a problem. So, by the way, speaking of sugar, how much sugar have you had today, Mr. Midnight Movie? I'll wait.
Wait a minute.
No.
Let me even think. No.
Yes.
Today. Wait a minute. I'm thinking because I was working. Let me see what I had to eat today. Did I have any sugar?
Oh my God! I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
You know what? I fucking didn't have any goddamn sugar today.
You're lying out of your fucking ass.
No.
There's sucrose. There's glucose. Blood sugar.
Now wait a minute. No, we're not. Shut up, Dr. B. We're not talking about that. We're talking about cookies, cakes, donuts, ice cream with. So I need you to really think back, Mr. Midnight Movie, long and hard. We'll wait. Take your time. This doesn't count fruit juice. Mr. Midnight Movie.
Pony.
Dr. B, you're fixing to get killed. I can kill you. You are Command Shift F5. And I'll have to boom, and you're completely electrocuted.
You sang my battle shit. Okay. I didn't actually, you know what? I did not have any sugar today. None.
This is good. This is great. No. Listen. So here's day one. We've done one day. Let's do another day tomorrow night.
I've done one day. I'm beating you.
Stop. Oh, my God. Okay, here's what I won't even eat all day tomorrow to catch up with you. But this is all for you.
And I can outrun you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, no, you cannot out-fucking run me. That's your craziness coming out. But here's what we will do. You hear this pen? I'm writing down on my calendar in front of me on the desk that on the 23rd, the 25th day of Junio, of June, whatever the fuck, that Mr. Midnight Movie 0, and I'm going to put the chemical shorthand for sugar, the chemical compound of sugar. So, Mr. Midnight Movie, that's day one. That's a big deal. That's one day you've gone without it. So let's do another day, and then another day.
I have more willpower than you.
You want to bet me everything I own? Bet me, and I swear to God, I will not lie to you. Bet me that I cannot go all day tomorrow without sugar. And you?
Okay. Can you go 3 weeks?
I go one day at a time, baby. That's all we're promised.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, one day at a time, and
tomorrow.
We're doing cyber stakes in space.
No, here's what we're going to do. I want you to tell me, you bet me that you can't go and I can't go. Let's get a deal going that we can, whoever breaks the first, whatever, loses whatever the fuck. I'm just saying, let's do this. Tomorrow, meet me here at this time and tell me that you haven't had any sugar.
Okay.
And if you do, I will. Yeah, what time is it in Fucktown, LAville, in LA?
Well, there's a 2 hour time difference.
Well, I understand that. It's been that way for a long time. So right now it's 11 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast. Is that right? Off the 101 to the Ventura Highway. We're on the left.
It's 11:03, lady.
All right. So tomorrow.
11:03 Pacific Standard Time.
Thank you, sweetest one. So at 11 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Mr. Midnight Movie will also, I'm writing this down, also have 0 sugar. All right? You can do this. You can fucking do this. And if you don't...
One day at a time, Debbie.
If you
1
don't...
minute at a time.
If you don't, you're a pussy. Go to bed right now and don't eat anything right now. If you eat anything right now, a kitten will die.
Okay. Dude, that doesn't stop me.
Okay, then...
I've never killed a kitten, but I've killed rats and
Oh, don't tell me. Don't make me all depressed.
Well,
Wait a minute. Here comes
Hold on
just a second. Don't talk anymore. Here comes Jewish producer.
All right, go ahead.
No, I've never killed anything alive. Are you kidding me? You want me to tell you the truth? Will you believe me if I tell you the truth? I have a roach that lives on this desk. All right? I call him Stabby. He's now stuck.
Okay, now it's game on.
No, it's game on for you. He's now living in my speaker on the right. I felt so bad because he was looking kind of puny. I fed him some of my leftover sandwich inside my speaker, and if I'm lying, may God strike me dead right now. I can't even kill him. I can't even kill him.
Rats can cause rabies. You got to kill them.
He's not a rat. Well, okay. Jewish producer.
Yeah.
Mr. Midnight Movie says that you write really stupid letters and he doesn't trust you. Just saying. Throwing it out there.
I know. And it's true. I try to stay true to his word, and they always come out dumb.
Yeah. Well, Debbie's on par. And I wanted to do a whole show called Debbie Helps Triple M Write a Letter.
All of my letters, when they are submitted and they are given my attention, every one of them, I have a very, very good success rate on returns and responses. It's how I do business. I write letters. I love letter writing.
All right,
so
we'll do that.
I would challenge somebody.
You write your best fucking letter about BMX Brazilian porn or whatever the fuck it is, MFX Brazilian. You come up with your best shit, and by this time, I'm going to give you 2 days. By this time, the night of the 27th, I'm writing this down, the 27th, JP and I will read our letters. And then we will do a Twitter poll to see whose was better. And you fucks better not vote for JP just because he's a guy, okay? In fact, we won't even know whose letter we're reading. I could be reading JP's. He could be reading mine.
That sounds like idea.
That is a fucking awesome idea.
And prepare to lose. Just say it, throwing it out. This is what I do for it. This is what I do for. I do this for a living.
And wait a minute.
We're simply looking for the best letter to send to this MFX porn company, right?
And wait a second.
Yeah.
By the way, and I just want to put this. Okay, what's today's date?
The 25th.
24th.
25th.
The 25th.
Oh yeah.
I live in the
future.
future.
So the 27th.
You're in
Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Pooh.
Whoa.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. So we need to tweet out if we can, to a lot of porn stars about what we're doing, because I want to also go into a little bit of tirade onto why the American porn industry is behind the times in their style of porn. I want to tweet out Bazzers or whatever their name is.
I don't know. You're making me dizzy. Whatever the fuck. Dr. JP, can I ask you a question? Who had a porn star on their show? Me or you and Mr. Minute Movie?
Didn't we have? I think we had one.
Did we?
Oh, we
no.
We
This
had
I gotta
one
hear.
flake on us last minute. No, we had one lined up.
That would mean I win.
Yeah, fuckface got that one fucked up. But
all right.
But yeah, and fuck you, Kay Parker, for ignoring us.
She's like what 80-something years old right now. Here's what Victor suggested. We submit.
I'm gonna tweet her about the show. By the way, go ahead.
We submit both letters to Dr. B. He reads both letters and then they vote. And JP, don't snake on me when they say I'm the one that does it.
No, this will be good. This will be good. I trust Dr. B just like everyone else here. This is a great idea.
I guarantee you I'm going to win. We tried
I'm
this
sure
before.
he has nothing better to do with his time.
Dr. B,
we can call it pornography purity ring.
No, it's going to be called Who's the Better.
I do object. I'm sorry. I just want to make a disclaimer right away that when I read letters, I may not like pornography because of moral reasons, but okay, I can read those letters.
You're reading the goddamn letters. You're reading the goddamn letters. I don't care what you say, okay? You're reading
By the way,
it will have no pornography. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say.
This Midnight Movie, Dr. B and I had a very interesting late-night conversation with good old Dr. Lindstedt the other night. Whoa.
Who's Dr. Lindstedt?
Wait a minute. Is it true
Is
it true that I got the one angry Jew to come on? Did he come on? The one angry Jew?
He may have after me, but no, I don't. I
the
hung
one
up at some
angry
point.
Jew
It was
came
late.
on. I know
like
the
3
one
in the morning.
The one angry Jew came. He said to me earlier. He said, hold on. This is when we were fighting today. We had a fight today. He says, I'm having an hour-long conversation with Lindstedt now. We had a nice conversation once I got Jimmy to hang up. So
that's cool. I think Dr. B and I were on with him for at least an hour. It may have been, I don't know, may have been an hour and a half. It was a long time.
Yeah, this is an interesting figure as far as I'm concerned.
I think that's the longest that this guy's ever talking to an actual Jew, right? Dr. Lindstedt? He's a major anti-Semite.
He is an absolute major.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone. This guy's big time as far as being in the.
Oh yeah,
he really is.
He twisted scripture based on his racist worldview.
You need to simmer down now. Simmer down now. No, I understand he did, but I'm saying this guy has been everywhere. He's been on this and that and this, and he's gone before all these different congressional things and stuff. But he's an absolute. He's probably one of the most renowned separatist, racist. Yeah.
Separatist.
And anti-Semites.
Well, that's being racist.
He was really kicking it down to me.
Was he really?
Really?
I brought you on the call. I'm so sorry I did that. Was he really rude to you?
No, it was. I mean, it was. I could have hung up at any time, but I found it very intriguing. I mean, this was. The script that he's going by is just very detailed, immaculate. You want to say? I mean, it's just so much information.
He fucking hates the Jews. He hates them. I cannot imagine hating a whole group of people that much like that. You know, that's amazing to me. He really does. Guys.
Yeah. I didn't feel him so much hating as there were some comments that I was like, holy cow, this is pretty deep.
I actually
invite me over for coffee.
Yeah. Circumcised. But JP, did you ever talk to a raging anti-Semite quite like that? Like who's on
nothing like him. I've talked to many in my time. Never talked to somebody who had his game so tightly wound and just ready to go. I mean, he could, there was no input needed. I mean, you ask him one question and he can rattle on for a good however long. It's just amazing amounts of detail.
And here's
I did find it interesting, and I didn't feel attacked. I just felt like, oh my God, this guy really does not like Jews.
Here's a sample.
How would Irv Rubin have tolerated that guy? I'm sorry.
Here's a sample from the show. Here's a sample from the show.
Vaporwave enough for you.
Have you quit drinking as much?
Dennis. So either you're fucking trolling me or you're too fucking rates. He's been raising, utility rates. And I don't have too much sympathy. One idiot was whining that his rates went up. I said, "Did you vote for me?" He said, "No, I voted for their guys."
There he is. And I brought you in the very end. The conversation got really serious. Let me see if I'm going to go forward for about.
One thing I found, one thing very interesting. He did recommend one book, and I think it was called Hillbilly. Missing the second word there. Hillbilly something. And by chance, right? He recommended this book. And just by chance, my wife had read this, just finished reading this book about a week ago. It was a really random coincidence.
So what was the book about? I mean, did you want to say anything about the book?
No, I do want to read it. It's just about, how socioeconomics, the socioeconomic roles.
Would you consider Martin Lindstedt a sociopath? Or an would you mean? How would you categorize him? Since we all have to get either, whatever.
No, I don't think he had malicious intent. I don't feel like he would, if we were alone in a room, he'd strangle me or anything. I think I don't think he would take my point of view there was nothing that I could say to change his mind. Though I feel some of his information could be accepted.
Do you think it's your constitutional? Do you think it's your constitutional right in this country to have your opinions of other people?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Hillbilly elegy is the word. Thanks, Bloviator. He had it.
Do you believe Do you believe that it is your constitutional right in this country to not only have but to voice your opinions of somebody else? Be it race, color, ethnicity, religion, president, vice president, your best friend Debbie, you know what I'm saying? I mean, do you think it's your constitutional right to do that?
I believe so.
I do it all the time online. I am fighting for my rights.
Well, you're a horrible person. There's no doubt about that.
Freedom of speech is fundamental in our society.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And I give the most inflammatory speech, or at least online. I've been battling with people quite a bit.
Now, you called yourself the First Amendment superhero.
That's correct. Don't quiz me on the First Amendment.
Stop.
Actually,
stop.
Wait a minute.
Stop. What?
What are you doing? What are you trying to do? What are you
Nothing,
trying to do?
nothing.
No, but wait. Okay. Fuck, I'm getting tired.
What were all those names? Jewish producer that he called himself? He was the truth clown. I can't breathe. I'm not laughing at you, Mr. Midnight Movie, but you gotta remember that was pretty funny.
When I called myself the inflammatory truth clown.
Truth clown. That's good stuff. Fuck. Truth clown. That was adorable. You were so cute. You called yourself a First Amendment superhero, and then one night me and Mr. Solution gave you a quiz on the First Amendment, and you didn't know anything about it. You couldn't even tell us what it said.
That's so you know.
Wait a minute.
It's one of the best shows ever.
Hold on a second. I couldn't believe that. Wait a second. I could not believe that obscenity. Can I say something?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go on mute. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. I couldn't believe that obscenity is not protected by our First Amendment.
Obscenity. But he called himself the First Amendment superhero. That's what he said. That was it, right, Mr. Midnight Movie? Wasn't that what you called yourself, the First Amendment?
Yes, I did. And I was, I'm a superhero, by the way, because obscenity should be protected by the First Amendment.
It should be. It should be, right.
And oh, by the way,
that's good stuff.
Hate speech is been deemed the hate speech bill that Bill Clinton put into action or whatever, that, by the way, has been deemed unconstitutional. Hate speech is allowed.
It's a felony law, you fucking idiot. Are you kidding me?
They rule the Supreme Debbie. Wait, go look up hate. No, you're wrong.
No, I'm not. Wait a minute. Stop. I'm in money making mode. I'm wrong. That hate speech is not. Stop.
Well, you already owe me 50,000 steaks, but go ahead.
I do not. I've never owed you one. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. That, my love, is the First Amendment. And people have dissected that since it was written, that it says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. So are you an shut up. Are you an establishment of religion? Are you, Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've established it. Yes.
Well, then there you go. Then they can make no law against you. You can say anything you want about them folks, if you know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Protected the constitutional right of freedom of religion through that clause. The Establishment Clause. Plus
my
the
right
free
to be
exercise clause.
There's a reason it was an amendment, not in the original document. There's a reason it was an amendment and not in the original document, Mr. Midnight Movie. If it was that important, it'd be in the Constitution. Sorry, I'm just throwing it out there. Which it was revised in 1992, by the way, the First Amendment was, because of a lawsuit that went down in federal court. Next. God, I hate being right and smart on all these things. Go ahead, I'm listening.
But I thought Larry Flint struck down the obscenity shit, but I guess
Oh, God, that's one of my favorite fucking movies. And don't say you haven't seen it, Dr. B. And where's JP? Is he still on the call? JP.
Shut that dog up. Is that whose dog is that crying?
It's Foo-Foo, and she wants to go outside and potty. So can I trust you guys not to tear up everything if I leave the room?
Oh fuck! I'm going to be getting to bed pretty soon, but okay, I'll stay a little longer with Dr. B and JP.
And with me, so I'll be right back. Hush, Foo-Foo, I'm coming. Here I go.
All
right. Oh shit!
No, keep talking about the First Amendment, you mullets.
All right.
Oh yeah, let's talk about hate speech since we're discussing about the First Amendment.
Now,
this is one of those civil liberties things. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think that hate, anger and hate, people should express their anger and hate of things. I don't see what the problem is with that, and they could speak it publicly.
Right. And motives matter. As long as the harm is not meant to incite or cause fighting words, then you feel free to disagree with things like whatever, including homosexual marriages or homosexuality, for example.
Yes.
I want to bring Dr. B on the road with us.
Oh, that's amazing. Yes, absolutely. Now, Dr. B, I have problems with that law, but that law seems to bother me. What incites violence and who's incited to, what kind of speech who is incited to violence, or is there such a thing as fighting words?
Well, there are words that could get you thrown in jail. Like, say, you're in a movie theater, and someone, say me or you, screaming, fire, and then...
Well, I know that. But what if I'm talking about narcissism, or I'm talking about my white guilt movement, and someone gets on and I say, you have a lot of malignant self-love, sir. Would that be considered hate speech? We're telling a group of people that they have malignant self-love. Would that be considered hate speech?
Well, it's not really fighting. If I didn't have that condition and yet someone called me that, it's accusing me of having a malignant, narcissism, then that's name calling, or perhaps I mean, it's a spoken word that might incite hatred against me because somebody might hate my gut, or they're just trying to evoke a reaction from me.
Yes, yes. Sometimes I am. Sometimes I am trying to gain a response, but it's only because it's a form of retaliation. Like I tell people sometimes that perhaps they should leave America. And I know they're not going to, but I kind of want to verbally grab them by the testicles and never let go until they surrender to my will. Not physically, but verbally, just, or maybe give them a quick verbal kick to the testicles. Not physically, but verbally.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
just
correct.
send them. Yeah. As long as you're trying to set them straight, then I'm okay with that.
Yes. Yes.
Because, yeah, you don't want to go after innocent people thinking, oh, that's the guy we're going to have, and you find out later that it wasn't the guy you're looking for.
Well, there are some people I want to verbally, stick my foot far up their anal cavity, go inside the anal cavity and kick a few times to the testicles, and then right to the guts, and stick verbally stick a cockroach, a live cockroach or any kind of insect or bug up their anus, so it eats their guts out and just destroy them, just emotionally and physically. So they get my point is gotten across. Basically, I want to be that kind of verbal assault.
Yeah, just have them sign a waiver first.
But they mean if they attack me physically, and we have it on film, do I have to have them sign a waiver when they attacked me? I should be able to post that out publicly because they hurt me, or they tried to hurt me. I wonder if I wonder
if you're trying to make money from it, but if you're just doing it to post, then you wouldn't need a waiver.
If someone punches you first, then you're the victim, because they'll be the ones who likely go to jail.
Yes, and I would want to put that on, even if they didn't sign a waiver. If they committed a crime on me, like smash me in the face, I would want that. I would want that on YouTube, just because I want people to know who this person is, and I want people to be aware that this is a person who can't, who doesn't let people have their First Amendment rights. And,
I'd like to eat that cockroach when it comes out.
Eat that what?
Eat the cockroach when it comes out.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think you'd want to eat it when it comes out. I would verbally. Yeah. Well, yeah. Actually, they would have to eat the cockroach when I verbally.
Eat it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just want to put 1,000 cockroaches up their butt and just make them feel the intensity. There are people out there with really awful beliefs, and they're allowed to spout them out. And I want to retaliate with my own form of horrific but just beliefs. That's just me. I'm getting really thirsty.
You used to say that you wanted to use verbal napalm on people.
Yes, I've. You know what? I've graduated to just getting 100 cockroaches, or any kind of insect that can live through water, maybe a water bug, and just verbally, getting like a vacuum cleaner, that works in reverse, and just verbally just ramming it up there and just giving them the what for, where their insides are eaten out from within, verbally, not anything I would, but yes, I would just destroy them, them.
You should come over for a barbecue tomorrow.
Yeah, verbal horse sodomy, basically.
When you're done with work, come on over.
I work till 4.
Perfect. We'll go swimming, have a barbecue. Be good.
What kind of meat are you gonna have?
You know what? You tell me what you want. I'll go get it, and then I'll charge it to Debbie.
Oh,
I can just give you my PayPal account. I'm sorry. I'm joking.
Now, has Debbie, have you read the original letter? JP, have you sent the?
Well, he said it on the show. I'm not worried. Just let me know.
Oh, by the way,
I'm going to do some edits, and I will submit the best letter ever to the MFX people. But I want Debbie to eat it first.
Even if it's Debbie's.
Well,
he didn't say that. You didn't say that. See, you're scared to death. I can tell. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. The title of the show should be JP and Debbie help Triple M write a letter.
Yes.
How about Debbie beats JP's ass in a letter that Mr. Midnight Movie had nothing to fucking do with? No?
Okay.
How about Jewish producer chomps on a corn cob pipe, writes the finest letter of all time.
Oh my God, you're so fucked up.
Submits it.
Now you just hold on a minute, Jew.
What's in your corner?
Jew need to come. Jew come in my house. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Jew, get out of my house.
Jew, get out of my house. Jew, get out of my house. You know something? Do y'all know who Dave Chappelle is?
Sure.
The inflammatory truth clown?
No, he's not. I do know that guy, though. He's amazing. He lives off the 401 right off Ventura Highway, right down there in those apartments on the left. Dave Chappelle recently did a comeback show. He went off the grid for a while because he got accused by the black group of being too hard on blacks, which he was, right?
Yes. I saw the comeback. Yeah, I saw this comeback show. Sure.
So he came back and he tells a story in his stand-up about how he was walking down the street one day with his sister, and I believe it was Dave Chappelle. I'm almost positive. It was either that or it was Tracy Morgan. He was walking down the street one day when a group of white kids drove by and threw something at him and went, "Fuck you!" And he said he got so mad that he took off running after these little bastards. Okay? He tells the story of how he comes up to the window and he knocks on it. He goes, "Open the fucking window!" And they go, "No! Open the fucking window!" Well, one of the kids rolls down a little bit of the window and they throw something else on him or whatever. And he's so fucking pissed off. And he goes back to his sister who he was walking with. I'm pretty sure it was Dave Chappelle. He goes, "You believe that fuck?" They called him the N-word and everything. They said, "You're a washed up N-word," all this kind of stuff. And his sister goes, she was pushing the baby carriage, and his sister goes, "I got the license plate." And he goes, "Are you kidding me?" So one thing leads to another. All 4 of the kids get arrested. And they telephone Mr. Chappelle. They're in custody. And he says, "Call me when you get them arrested." So they went out and they grabbed them all. They came down there. His mother, one of the mothers and 2 of the fathers were standing in the waiting room. He walks up. He says, "Gentlemen and ma'am, if you don't mind, before these boys get released, I would like to go in there and talk to them." And they said, "Sure." So he goes in. They were all in one cell, and he stands there and he goes, "Hey, boys." "Hey." He goes, "I just wanted to tell y'all that, no, I'm going to screw this up. This is the best part of it because I don't know where it's at." But he goes, "I just want to tell y'all that I don't hold anything against you. That after fucking every one of your mothers last night," and he goes off into this really bad, nasty type mean story and comes out and he goes, "It was such a pleasure y'all letting me talk to the boys." And he just turns and he just walks straight out. And what he said, and I don't remember, this is the bad part of my story here, is I don't remember exactly what he said, but what he said to those boys just brought the entire house down. And it was a true story because I remember when we were watching this, I looked it up and I said, wow, he really was attacked. And it was a big deal. It was cool as hell. So I'm sorry, that's all. Never mind. Bye.
Debbie, did you get my tweet about Richard Dreyfuss talking about Robert Shaw?
I did. That was pretty amazing. That was cool as fuck. Excuse my language.
Oh, you listened to it?
Yes, I listened to it.
On your show or not on your show?
Not on my show. No, I don't listen to it on my show, baby. You're so goofy today. No, I'm serious. No, I didn't listen to it on my show.
That was, it was
a stepmother and a stepbrother. Interesting.
By the way, that was, you know what I mean? Because he, I always read that Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss hated each other, and that was such a
No. I knew both of them. They both lived down the street from me. No, I'm joking. No, it was true. They liked each other quite a bit. But they thought that Robert Shaw was one of the most interesting. Are you talking about the gentleman that was on the SS? That went in, that told the story of going into the water, and that's why he hated sharks. He was on the SS.
Yeah.
The SS. What was it? Livingston or Lexington?
No, they did, Debbie. They did not like each other.
No, they did. They said that they loved, because on the all I know is what they said on the making of it. They said that he was extremely amazing to be around, to talk to, this actor. So,
but they had battles.
No, they let him get drunk. He could not tell the story until he was drunk, and the one that they play on the movie Jaws, he's drunk off his freaking butt in that scene. They swore to that. No, I'm not being funny. I'm telling you the truth.
No.
But I want to say, wait. Can I say something to you real quick? I didn't. The point I was going to make, sir, with with Dave Chappelle is this: Dave Chappelle turns to the audience and he says, "You know something? I could have switched that just like that on those boys, because what they got arrested for was misdemeanor assault." And I walked in there and he said, "Well, since you called me nigger when you assaulted me, you just bought a felony, you stupid motherfucker." And that's what he said to those boys when he goes back there and talks to them. He goes, "Do you realize that with one sentence, I could have sent every one of you to I could have ruined your lives?" And he goes, "You can throw rocks at me all you want, but when you call me nigger while doing it, you just bought yourself a felony." So I looked it up, and in fact, if you do something like that against a black person, especially, I guess, I don't know, it sounds kind of weird, it's automatically elevated to a felony.
Is it the same if someone... Wait, hold on. Is it the same if someone attacks and makes racial epithets to a white person?
Probably not, because racism is just one way in this country. You know that it's just us. We're the only people that can be racist. Now,
that's a load of shit.
Well, that's the way it is, because we're all too scared to be called racist.
That's got to change. That's what I'm fighting for to change, Debbie. I'm fighting for that to change.
You're the first
every day on the
superhero, Mr. Midnight Movie, the Truth Clown. Sorry, just one little.
That's right. And fuck you, Mr. Delusion. I ran you off the show.
There may not be a word equivalent to nigger for the white man.
You mean cracker?
Yeah, but it doesn't. Cracker is.
If you're assaulting me and you use racial epithets, it's motivated by racial hate.
It doesn't. Mm-hmm. You better. Well, True. You're not going to get a lot of pity, because everything in this country leans one way, not only to the left but to the darker side. That's just
facts. What though?
I
think
anything you want to call me, any fucking thing Debbie, you want to call me. You can call me a hater. You can call me a racist. I know what I am, and that's just the fucking truth. Sorry,
Debbie. I think sooner or later, with the I think sooner or later, that view of racism only being one way, that's not going to stand. That doesn't stand up to its scrutiny of being right, and I think America.
Try it. Get attacked by black guys and they're going to call you every name in the book, and nothing's going to stick, because
it may not. You know what? It may not stick today, but I'm saying sooner or later, that can't stand. It's immoral and it can't stand. It's going to face too much of a fight and a backlash, and it shouldn't be by. We are equal under the law.
No, we're not. We owe them everything because we enslaved their grandfathers. We owe them the rest of our lives. They're never going to let us live it down, and you know that.
They may not let us live it down, but still by law, that law that law cannot stand. And if pressure were to be put on bear, it couldn't stand up to its scrutiny. That's what won the civil rights laws. When the civil rights laws were changed.
In 1964, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, all it did was it said you cannot discriminate on the basis of race, color, or creed. Is that what you're talking about?
That's true. No, but that's true. But I mean, that law was. I mean, in my opinion, particularly with the Public Accommodations Act, I believe that law went too far, because you have the right to discriminate. If you own a business, it's your company, a private business. You can run it any way you see fit.
Try it and let me know how that works.
No. I'm saying the law was wrong.
We also do not have to pay Internal Revenue Service tax. Period. Can prove it, can back it up. I know it sounds far-fetched, but I can back up every word I'm saying. We do not have to pay income tax. There is
Try it.
Well, I know that.
Yeah.
I'm just comparing it to what you just said. But I'm saying
No,
there is nothing in the tax books and nothing in the tax codes. Nothing in the tax codes. One time a group offered $150,000 to anybody that could show in the tax codes where it says you have to pay income tax. Nowhere. It's just something that they just came up with, and that's what we do.
The 16th Amendment paves way for something like that.
What does that
Yeah,
mean?
the income tax.
Wait, what does the 16th Amendment say?
Now, if you want verbatim, then I can pull it up.
No, just what is it about? I mean, what? I can tell you what a hate crime is: a traditional offense like murder, arson, or vandalism with an added element of bias for the purpose of collecting statistics. The FBI has now defined hate crime as a criminal offense against a person or property motivated in whole or in part by an offender's bias against a certain race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, ethnicity, gender, or gender identity. Hate itself is not a crime, and the FBI is mindful of protecting freedom of speech and other civil liberties.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yes.
All hail the Federal Bureau of Idiots. Just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there. The FBI has investigated crimes all the way back to World War I that were hate crimes. Are you kidding me? Well, hello. Right? I mean, Jewish producer, let's talk about this for a second. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
What is the biggest hate crime you've ever seen in your in even out of your lifetime in the history of the world that was not prosecuted? Was not prosecuted. Remember I said that.
Am I still on here?
Yeah, I thought you were going to answer the question.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that.
What about what happened in your own home state, Mr. Midnight Movie, several years ago on Halloween?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how well those women were prosecuted. We have, you know what, I think I have found one of the... Hold on. Debbie.
She's talking about the Bixby Knoll.
The Bixby Knolls, yes. I have some inside information on that I am holding a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, we are going to drop the bomb on that one. Oh, I can't wait for this. We're definitely following through on that one.
Wait a minute. Stop. What? 8 were convicted of attack in Long Beach, the Bixby Knolls attacks. Tell them what happened, Mr. Midnight Movie. Tell them.
Halloween night.
Yeah, Halloween night, 2006. It was a wealthy pan. It had like a haunted kind of house kind of thing, like in their backyard. And these 3 girls had the living shit kicked out of them. Most were women, but there were a few guys that were convicted. And it was a really brutal, nasty beating. And
I think one of them got their face beat in with a skateboard.
Yeah.
Or pavement.
It was a vile beating. And if the reverse had happened, they'd have been screaming bloody murder. And
the assailants were all black.
Yeah. And anyone who looks at Colin Flaherty's channel, you'll see this. Yeah, white girl bleed a lot, and it's don't make the black kids angry. This happens all the time. I mean, it happens whites are consistent. Basically, they are consistent victims of racial hostility and physical assault. at the hands of blacks often. And it doesn't have to be a black neighborhood. But
now, wait a minute. Was that published very much in the mainstream media?
No, it wasn't. But you know what? Like I said, sooner or later, Deb, because for a long time, Debbie, the mainstream media didn't do anything about civil rights regarding blacks. And anytime somebody tried to mention, because they tried to mention Emmett Till for a long time. They actually, Rod Serling had written a television pilot, like a TV movie, that was kind of like the Emmett Till case, and they didn't want to touch it. I mean, they changed it around completely. And then just sooner or later, and now the reverse is true. It's all, if you look at any kind of docudrama or anything like that, it's always how blacks are consistent victims of racism, when in reality, it is the reverse that is true. It is whites primarily that are the victims of racial hostility. That's the way it is in America, and we just don't want to recognize it, just as back in the day, white Americans didn't want to recognize the mistreatment of blacks. Now today,
wait a minute. I want to say something. Go ahead, but I get to rebuttal.
Liberal whites, who are the main ones that help out with this, liberal whites and blacks do not want to acknowledge the victimization that whites suffer at the hands of blacks, and they're under habitual hostility and at times physical assaults. Go ahead.
Southern California has ethnic fault lines, and any one of them can be triggered at any time when it comes to race, and you know that. That's why they let jaywalk, and because after what happened in 1992, they said, we're never doing this again because we look like a fool in front of everybody in this planet. And they did. 42,000 arrests. How many deaths, Dr. Bristol, were in the L.A. riots over the Rodney King results when they were all found not guilty across the board? It exploded into what could only be described as hell on earth. For how long? And so that's being held hostage. Okay, it says, okay, listen to this, all right? Southern California, the level of violence must be particularly atrocious to get coverage. Why was it not covered? Why was Bixby Knolls not covered? Some people said because the defendants were minors and they can't be shown on television. Bullshit. Black violence against whites cannot match the scale and history of white beatings and killings and intimidation, but it cannot cancel it out, is what I'm saying, but it did, because there were no cases anywhere where they were talking about Bixby Knolls. What happened? There were 18 kids that beat these three girls almost to death. There were some of them that were deaf. They were permanently maimed, scarred, destroyed. And it was all over the fact that they were white. And in fact, there was a famous book wrote, because one of the girls, when she walked off, was quoted as saying, "Ooh, white girl bleed a lot." And so they wrote a book, what's his face wrote a book called White Girl Bleed a Lot. And it's very sad, and nobody was talking about it anywhere. I never heard of it. Anyway.
No, and the thing of it is, I mean, they actually had in Iowa, because a lot of blacks, for whatever reason, moved to Iowa after Hurricane Katrina. They had a day called Beat Whitey Night. They had a city in Iowa had a carnival, and the blacks got together, and they got together online, and they had Beat Whitey Night. And the news media said nothing about it.
What about the knockout game? Remember that?
Yeah, they still have it, and some of it's called the knockout game. It's also called polar bear hunting.
Did you just make up the polar bear hunting thing? Did you?
Oh my gosh!
I'm just playing with you. Go ahead, Angel. I'm just playing with you, but go ahead.
Debbie, you owe me a steak.
No, every time I say something, think I owe you a steak. Crazy maniac. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Try to run as fast as you can.
You can't catch
me. I'm the Midnight Movie Man.
Hey, I like that. I'm the Midnight Movie Man. Well,
the gingerbread man of the modern
She
era.
used to call me Midnight Movie Man. I love that.
oh, shut up! I did. Y'all like when you call me Debbie Schmoo. Now,
Debbie Schmidt.
if you want to do Judge Gibson Lee a favor, don't mention Halloween. It's been more than a year since the Long Beach Juvenile Court made headlines after imposing house arrest and probation on a group of black youths who almost beat to death 3 women in Bixby Knolls on Halloween night of 2006. Many in the community, including victims' families, thought the sentence was outrageously lenient and urged a recall of the judge, which never took root. Lee still rolls his eyes at the mention of Halloween. He says the beating case served as a rare aberration in juvenile court, the equivalent of the O.J. Simpson murder trial, and does little to paint an accurate picture of his caseload. Although he won't comment on the case itself, he has spoken countless times within the last year about his mandate as a juvenile judge to impose sentences on people, people that are... it says right here, anything more can damage the children, blah, 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 blah. The beating case, which drew national headlines, stemmed from a radically, racially charged assault on 3 women. 2 were 19 and 1 was 21 in the Bixby Knolls, an upscale neighborhood that draws Halloween crowds because of its elaborate displays. Prosecutors say the black youths yelled racial insults, threw small pumpkins and lemons at the women, and then assaulted them with their fists, tree branches, and a skateboard. After a long trial, 9 teenagers, most of them girls, were convicted of assault. And Judge Lee found hate crime enhancements to be true against all but one of them. Prosecutors then argued for all the youth to be sentenced to lockdown probation camps, but Lee noted that the minors had been in custody for so long, nearly 100 days since the trial concluded. He sentenced most to 60 days house arrest, 60 days house, I'm going to repeat that, 60 days house arrest for what they did to those kids. And, listen to this one. Laura was hit in the back of the head with a skateboard and knocked unconscious during the attack. And the other one suffered severe eye and jaw injuries and is permanently disfigured. These attackers have never been given consequences, and I feel that this has been perpetrated by the judge. He let everybody down. So it was probably like in the case of O.J. Simpson, that idiot judge that was sitting there overruling every damn objection that the state made in OJ's. We object. Every one they made, he overruled. Every one of them. Every fucking one of them. He never gave any sustentation to anything that they said. But if the defense made it, who is blowing up my goddamn Skype? Is that you, Curtis?
Damn, somebody's just after you.
The fuck? No, it's a group call I'm in right now. It's okay. Was it Hito or Ito? What was that idiot's name in the OJ trial? Every freaking time that the defense made an objection, sustained. And it was because he was scared to death of what happened during Rodney King.
Was he really?
Yes, he was, because his wife was a captain on the LA police force. Good morning.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about why that judge, you know what I mean, political correctness, I don't know. But it kind of disgusted me that those guys didn't get a more serious sentence. And you know what? I wish I'd have had my show now, and I would have gone up to that courtroom and really made a fucking stink about that. You need an inflammatory truth clown with that. And I'm just waiting for another case, and I don't know which one it's going to be, but I think I'm going to make my voice known. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make my voice heard. I'm going to scream bloody murder to those. I would have been screaming, and those parents are scum, and I would have said that to them. They are scum. The parents of those kids, scum, 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 scum.
Pond
I'd
scum.
go scum, scum, scum.
All right, already.
Scum.
All right.
Scum,
Wait,
Debbie,
we get
scum.
it. We get it.
We got it,
Yeah,
but you're gonna
stop.
get. But you won't make it home because they'll kill you. They'll come out and they'll do murder on you, and I hate murder.
You are scum. You are. Here's the little. You are scum. You are scum. There we go. Okay, and I got to get to bed.
And they're going to say, "White boys sure do bleed. Let that big old boy bleed a lot."
Oh boy!
And I'd say you're still scum.
As he lays dying, help! You're scum.
Scum.
Shoot him again in the fucking head. Shut this piece of shit up.
You think they do that to me? They attack me on the courthouse.
Hello.
All those police.
They would lie, and everybody would believe them, and they would all go free, and you would lay there in your wormhole. You would lay there dead.
Oh God!
Officer, these scumbags are attacking me.
Tell us about the dream. Joking. Chris Nelson.
Tell us about the scum.
Yeah, well, if you'll notice, anybody that was on the Rodney King riots, they weren't saying a word about Rodney King. They certainly made out with a lot of equipment and stuff like that, but nobody was down there. You could have asked them, what are they writing about? They go, I don't know. I'm just out here. Ray called and said, come and get a bunch of televisions, and can you help me move this couch? I'm joking.
You know what, Debbie? I'm so white during the riots, I actually went out and bought a television.
No, wait. Shut up. Now, wait a minute, Mr. Midnight Movie. I was actually at the Rodney King riots of 1992, and I want to tell you what I took from there. Oh, shut up. I'm trying to do a joke. Forget it. Never mind. I was going to say I took
you come to my house. Don't chuck them there.
You're really pissing me off. You know that?
Yeah.
Russian Hacker Clan is the name of the group. You know something?
Don't come to my house.
Do you live in Long Beach? Because that's a really high crime, bad area of California, Mr. Midnight
It is.
Movie.
I've been there before.
Is it?
They have the Queen Mary.
Oh, no wonder it's got a hex on it then, or something paranormal. I'm sure.
Snoop Doggy Dogg used to sling his cane there.
Really?
Now he lives in Encino.
You know, we should get a rapper to do a rap about the Long Beach. No, that would be the wrong way to do it because they would be for the. Yeah, okay, never mind. Forget it. We could get Eminem. He's white. Oh, I just said that out loud, didn't I?
East Coast rapper.
Long Beach to Encino. And then there's Ice Cube, who said he wanted to live in Compton, but after a while he decided to live in Encino. He's also straight out of Compton.
We could call it straight out of Bigsby, Knowles. Huh?
Yeah.
Straight out of BK. BK, coming at you. Sorry, I'm being stupid. Shut up, all of you.
And Debbie, I'm going to bed. But you were wrong. Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss.
Stop. No, I heard that I'm wrong. Just kind of thrown in there like seasoning or something. No, I wasn't wrong.
No, but if you look at interviews, about... Okay.
I'm listening. I want to hear this. I want to hear about Robert Shaw being hated by everybody on the scene of Jaws. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if he was hated by everybody, but Richard Dreyfuss and them did not get along. They were at odds with each other. I think it was... I think that Robert Shaw thought Richard Dreyfuss was a bit of a softie compared to him.
Emphasis on I think. Just throwing it out there. Sorry.
Well, I'm just not getting... I mean, I'm getting a little bit inside... Because Robert Shaw is a military man. You know, has been in the military. Richard Dreyfuss, kind of a beatnik, a little bit of a hippie kind of guy, dodged the draft.
He's a tree lover. That's what the fuck it was. While we're talking about... Let me play this while we're talking about it. There was a scene in Jaws where the mean, tough guy they called Quint, who said, you want me to get that? He was a real badass. He's going to tell you in this quick 40-second scene why he hates sharks, okay? Take a listen. And he was drunk off his ass when this was shot. It was the only way he could get through it.
He swung in low and he... Japanese submarine slammed 2 torpedoes into our side, Chief. He was coming back from the island of Tinian to Leyte, just delivered the bomb, the Hiroshima bomb. 1,100 men went into the water. Vessel went down in 12 minutes. Didn't see the first shark for about half an hour. Tiger, 13-footer. You know that when you're in the water, Chief? You tell by looking from the dorsal to the tail. Well, we didn't know.
Steven Spielberg said, whatever you do, don't say doll's eyes. He says, because that means the children will be freaked out and you'll freak out all the mothers. Do not say doll's eyes.
But our bomb mission had been so secret, no distress signal had been sent. They didn't even list us overdue for a week. Very first light, Chief. Sharks come cruising. So we formed ourselves into tight groups. You know, it's kind of like old squares in a battle, like you see in a calendar, like the Battle of Waterloo, and the idea was shark comes to the nearest man, that man he starts pounding and hollering and screaming. Sometimes the shark would go away. Sometimes he wouldn't go away. Sometimes that shark, he looks right into you, right into your eyes. You know the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, he doesn't seem to be living until he bites you. And those black eyes roll over white, and then you hear that terrible high-pitched screaming. The ocean turns red, and in spite of all the pounding and the hollering, they all come in and they rip you to pieces. You know, by the end of that first dawn, lost 100 men. I don't know how many sharks, maybe 1,000. I don't know how many men. They average 6 an hour. On Thursday morning, Chief, I bumped into a friend of mine, Herbie Robinson from Cleveland.
This is a true story right here. I looked it up.
Baseball player, bosun's mate. I thought he was asleep. Reached over to wake him up. Bobbed up and down in the water. It was like a kind of top. Upended. Well, he'd been bitten in half below the waist. Noon the 5th day, Mr. Hooper, Lockheed Ventura. So he swung in low and he saw us. A young pilot, a lot younger than Mr. Hooper anyway. He saw us and he come in low, and 3 hours later a big fat PBY comes down and started to pick us up. You know, that was the time I was most frightened, waiting for my turn. I'll never put on a life jacket again.
You know, they panicked so much that when the gigantic plane landed in the water, they just all started crawling up on the wings and on this, and they were getting burned by the hot of the propellers and stuff, and they were just going crazy. And there's pictures from this other gentleman that was in his plane of this actual scene that I'm telling you about. You can see them all just crawling onto the wings and stuff. It was really sad because 1,100 soldiers went into the water and only 309 came out. Over 800 men were destroyed. And see, sharks don't kill you to eat you. They don't want to eat you. They just want to kill you because they think you're a shark, and they're very territorial. Sharks are cold-blooded killers. They kill just to kill, and next kill. And they shake you to death. Can you imagine dying like that? What the fuck? Ooh.
Man, the great white would be a prime example here. You know how the sharks really get the taste for humans? Because they sense blood in the water.
By the time they have pictures from the up above, and all you can see are these sharks everywhere, and it's just like fucked up. Great white, thank you, Gunnar. Great whites are actually only off the coast of Australia, I believe. I'm probably wrong about that, but great whites usually don't go. You don't see a lot of great whites. That was sort of a made-up part of the story of Jaws because they don't go up into the shallow water. But anyway, the bottom line is they were tiger sharks, and they look a lot. They're just smaller than obviously the great white. And I'll shut up now. But anyway, I just hate when I start sounding like I know it all. But I'm very well read, I guess you could say. I'm actually very highly intelligent. No, I'm joking.
Now they did a mini. I think it was a mini series about that. I forget the name of it, but it was with Stacy Keach
about the SS Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's men still. There's men alive. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, I was going to say, and I think they did another one with one with Nicolas Cage, which, yeah.
Here's the sad part about the USS Indianapolis. It was sent over to drop off the big boy, which was the bomb they dropped on Nicodemus, on Hiroshima. Was it Hiroshima, or what was the other one?
Nagasaki.
No, then it wasn't Hiroshima.
Hiroshima was first, and then there was Nagasaki.
Okay, the big bomb, the one they called the big boy, went over to Nagasaki. Am I right about that? Well, anyway.
Wait, Fat Man and Little Boy, so...
The biggest one went the second time. How about that? Okay, these men in the SS Indianapolis, with a crew of 1,500, carried the bomb over to where they were going to pick it up because it was so big they couldn't fly across. It was just so big they could only go up and then drop it, because if not, they couldn't go. There was nothing powerful enough to carry this big thing, so they just went up, boom, and dropped it. Well, anyway. They got attacked by a ship from Japan. They said, "Hey, look at that!" And they came over and they boom, 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 and the ship went underwater in 12 minutes. 1,500 men went into the ocean, except the captain went down. A few others went down, but anyway. And by dawn the next day, they were gone. They were 6 an hour. They were averaging 6 an hour, getting just eaten, and you could tell by the screams. They were all banded together and stuff. It was really sad. Nobody sent out a mayday. Nobody. They didn't even log them missing. They didn't even log them missing. They just went, well, so how about them Cowboys? Oh, fine. How about those Eagles? Nobody even said, this is a message. The SS in Indianapolis is missing. Please send. The only reason they got helped was because a random pilot happened to just be going over that day and went, what the fuck is that? And looked down and there he saw them all. And he sent over for a big thing, which came over, and that's the end of the story. It's bullshit. That's your country at work.
Well, I think there was reason for that.
If I say black, you say white. If I say up, you say down. If I say
Debbie,
you say
Debbie.
What?
She was in the chat room. Don't be an idiot. No.
Don't be sheep. Bah, bah.
That's an old thing from Mr. Solution. We had to drop him going, Debbie, he was in the chat room. Don't be an idiot. I'm sorry. I've got Gunner right here in my lap. Go ahead. What were you going to say about the...
Where do we watch the My Lai massacre and I defend our soldiers?
Oh, my God. Now, what about the SS? I'm getting licked in the face by a Labrador Retriever. What is it you were going to tell me that you think is bullshit about how that they just all deserve to die and you're glad they got eaten by sharks? What did you say?
I said, wasn't there because they didn't want the Japanese to know their, that they had sunk a ship or anything like that. I mean, you said that it was carrying the plane that had,
the nuclear bomb. Go ahead. Yeah, you need to go to bed. You need to go to bed. You're wearing me out of bed.
I'm going to bed, Debbie. And you should have played my clip.
You need to stop everything and just don't eat any sugar. Don't you forget about tomorrow.
I'm not.
All right.
You kept me up late enough, and with your
don't
promises
make that an
before.
excuse. No, don't. What? Get out of here. I hate your guts. Go away and die. Not die.
I'm going to bed.
I'm joking.
Bye.
Good
night, everybody.
Good night. Wonderful.
Good night, Mr. Midnight Movie.
Good night and pleasant. He was going, thank. Well, everybody, that was the Truth Clown, the First Amendment superhero.
That's all, folks.
Mr. Midnight Movie. Mr. Wonderful person of the world that I adore and I would kill for. I would kill anybody.
I don't know what that dream is that you have.
What are you talking about?
I don't care how disappointing it might have been.
Sorry, I have to get that off my iTunes.
Sponsored by the Civil Liberties League, First Amendment Superhero Headquarters.
No. You know what this is sponsored by, Dr. Whatever your name is, B. You know who's sponsored. Dr. Bennett, this is sponsored by blow me.
Budweiser presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Footlong Hot Dog Inventor.
Mr. Footlong Hot Dog Inventor.
When conventional wisdom said no one could make a hot dog longer than 6 inches, you dared to dream.
Dared to dream.
You knew the limitations of a regular-sized hot dog bun, and you ignored them.
Can't stop me now.
You made a 10-inch wiener, and people cheered.
Oh!
But you weren't satisfied. You said, wait, I think I can still give you 2 more inches.
Gotta want it.
So this Bud's for you, Mr. Hot Dog Hero, because you gave every single one of us our fondest wish, a bigger wiener.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sponsored by Budweiser Anheuser-Busch, Golden, Colorado. And that's beer, Coors is in Golden, Colorado. What's up, Mr. Dr. Bristol? Mr. Dr. Bristol.
Yeah, Dr. B or Dr. Bristol, I'm like, if people are not believing me to be the doctor, like Willie said, I could be a character.
Go fuck themselves. Who gives a crap? Fuck you. Chuck you, Farley. Let's see if we can ring in the Rusher hacker clan, shall we? Now, wait a minute. I have to join. Let's see who all's in there right now. I mean, I want to do this. Oh, no, it's Knick Knack. Is Knick Knack in there? I can't tell. Let's see. Hold on. I need a blender and an Apple Watch. Sorry. Yeah, there. Who is that? That's not you, Serial Swatter. That's not you. That is certainly not your picture. That is not you. Shut up. Oh, these guys. These guys are too, well, yeah. Bunch of hacksers. He says, go ahead and join the call. I have my Guy Fawkes mask on. Yeah, Serial Swatter. I'm just looking at all the stuff they just posted. Okay. Yeah, good time. Whoa, no, there's too many of them in there now. I don't want to join the call. So I guess it's just you and I to talk about how JFK was murdered by a conspiracy involving the CIA and the United States government, right, Dr. B?
Right.
Now, I played a song at the very beginning of my show, and it was amazing. I want to show y'all what this song is. It's a song that's called, these 3 girls do it, and boy, are they beautiful. And boy, are they talented. And boy, you're going to love this. This is all just segueing into this. Okay, you ready to hear this? Pretty crazy stuff. Here it comes, one time to you right now. But first, I'd like to tell you all about how the mainstream at MSNBC says it's our job to mind control the people of the United States. Would you like to hear that, Dr. B?
Sure.
I thought you would.
That they really don't know what to do. Check my previous video to see that CBS's new slogan is literally real news. They're actually calling themselves real news.
You're watching CBS This Morning.
You can trust us. We're the real news. We promise. Really. And later today, or depending on what time you're watching this video, it may have already started.
Okay, now stop. You didn't even show me the thing, so stop. Here comes the clip. Are you ready? Starting now. Sorry, I went a little crazy.
The economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops. That is our job, she said. That's the blonde. You know the blonde bimbo, the bleep. I can't stand her. And you know I love Tommy Lauren. I love a lot of good-looking people. But not this bitch. It's the short-haired older lady on MSNBC that's like, she does the morning coffee with Joe or something like that. You know what I'm talking? Yeah, I guess you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? No?
I don't watch a lot of MSNBC to find out who she is.
Her name, yeah, it's called Morning Joe. Her name is Mika Brzezinski. She hates Donald Trump. And she said President Trump's efforts to undermine the media and control what people think, that's actually our job. So there you go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, you idiots. They are idiots. But the song that I'm talking about is a song that was originally Sorry, I just did something I shouldn't have done, and it's all your fault if you would stop breathing for a minute. It was done by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. But 3 girls recently recorded it, and I think that they did an absolutely unfreaking believable job, and I would like to show that to y'all now. And I don't have to wait for you to say okay. And in fact, I wanted Dr. DeVita to see how beautiful these girls are, so I'm going to let you see my screen. Okay, Dr. Bias?
Okay.
Thank you, too many. Wiki Bear.
Checking now.
Checking now.
Helplessly hoping.
You need to stop talking for 1 minute. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, everybody. Enjoy. This is amazing.
Helplessly hoping her harlequin hovers nearby, awaiting a word. Gasping at glimpses of gentle true spirit, he runs, wishing he could fly, only to trip at the sound of goodbye. Wordlessly watching, he waits by the window and wonders at the empty place inside. Heartlessly helping himself to her bad dreams, he worries, did he hear a goodbye? Or even hello? They are one person, they are 2 alone, they are 3 together, they are 4 each other. Stand by the stairway, you see something certain to tell you confusion as its cost. Love isn't lying, it's loose in a lady who lingers, saying she is lost and choking on hello. They are one person, they are 2 alone, they are 3 together, they are 4 each other.
Ta-da! What do you think, Dr. B?
Oh, that was beautiful right there.
Impressive, huh?
Yeah. You know, that song was originally released in 1969 by American folk rock group Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Checking now. Wiki Bear. Wiki Bear. Wiki Bear to the rescue. We need to hear a Wiki Bear, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Time to hear.
Little Bighorn is where I got the most kicks out of.
Little Bighorn it is, everybody. Welcome, Wiki Bear.
The chair and blamed his killing.
Shut up.
Here's Wiki Bear. Isn't he cute? All right, there he is. I'm just going to turn on the switch in the back.
Hello, I'm Wiki Bear. What's your name?
Conan O'Brien.
Conan Christopher O'Brien, late-night talk show host and managing editor of his high school newspaper in Brookline, Massachusetts?
That's true. I was the managing editor. It knew that. I can't believe you know that.
I can answer any question you have. I'm Wiki Bear.
All right, here's a question some kids might ask. What is the largest brass instrument?
Checking now. Got it. The largest brass instrument is the tuba, invented in 1835. Yay!
That's right. The tuba is the largest brass instrument. That's cool.
Speaking of big horns, did you know that at the Battle of Little Bighorn, George Custer, the general, and his troops were horribly massacred by Native American warriors and left to rot on the blood-soaked battlefield? I'm Wiki Bear.
It's true, Wiki Bear. I don't think kids want to know about that level of detail about Custer, you know?
Many of the troops were scalped or mutilated so their souls would walk the earth and never go to heaven. Yay!
Okay.
It was brutal.
Okay, great. Let's change the subject to something more kid-friendly. Who played the character Sloth in the popular 1985 kids movie The Goonies?
Sloth was played by NFL player John Matuzak, whose co-stars included Martha Plimpton and Josh Brolin.
That is correct. That was quite a cast. Yeah.
Speaking of impressive casts, notorious serial killer Ted Bundy often used a fake cast on his arm to lure victims into his car. He sure had a talent for murder, yay!
He'd wear a cast on his arm, I guess, to lure people, make him look weak or something.
Right,
Yeah.
and he escaped from prison before getting the chair and blamed his killings on pornography. Clever to the end, hooray!
You know what?
What a charming fellow.
No. Awful fellow. And Wiki Bear, this is, again, something kids shouldn't be thinking about, okay? Let's
Yeah.
try...
Go ahead, sorry, I interrupted you, According to Emily Post, interrupting is rude and should be punished with a brutal beating.
Emily Post doesn't say that.
It was in the unabridged version.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I like how through his mouth you could hear shuffling paper.
Yeah, I know. And sweating. Let's try another question, Wiki Bear. What's the most watched music video in internet history?
Gangnam Style by Korean pop star Psy has over 2 billion views, making it the most viral video ever.
That sounds right, yeah.
Speaking of going viral, the Ebola virus is one of the deadliest biological hazards on Earth. Often spread to humans by infected monkeys, its symptoms include severe abdominal pain, confusion, and explosive diarrhea. I'm Wiki Bear.
No one wants to hear about explosive diarrhea, okay?
Fortunately, I'm immune to all human disease. Soon I and all my fellow toys will rule the post-apocalyptic wasteland.
You're having a little trouble there today, Wiki Bear, with some of your talking, huh?
We'll sail around on rafts made of human corpses, yay! I'll make you all fight to death in the Thunderdome.
Shut up, Wiki Bear.
We'll bury you all. Or so Emily Post would have you believe.
Would you be quiet? That part's ad-libbed, and I'm not loving it, Wiki Bear.
Oh, my nose, my synthetic nose.
Stupid toy.
Maybe you should lean in, Andy, and save this bit. Ow! Hi there!
Look at him, he's just sitting over there.
Nothing can stop my indestructible onslaught.
Pure evil.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for this guy to run out of lines to ad-lib.
It'll never happen.
We'll take a break.
Good stuff. Wiki Bear, everybody, on the Debbie Daily train wreck hour here with everybody, including myself and Dr. B and Jewish producer and Mr. Midnight I Know It All, Floobies. Yeah, buddy. He's going to die a slow death tomorrow. No, I'm joking. I'm doing that. I know he's not listening right now, but I'm doing that in the hopes that he gets off of sugar. I'll do anything. Well, not anything, but I'll do a lot of stuff to get him off of sugar. He's got to. He's going to die a slow, agonizing death. Hey, did you know that I used to have this girlfriend? Well, I still have this girlfriend. She was my children's nanny. She was called an au pair. She was from Sweden. Her name was Lotta. And Lotta came over to visit us after she had gone away. She was only here for a year. Her visa was for 1 year. She left about a week before the visa was up. And she stayed with us that whole time. Well, the thing about it is, she came back and visited a couple of times. Well, one time she came back to visit, she brought me a carton of Swedish cigarettes. Swedish cigarettes, a carton of them. And do you know what it said on the side of those cigarettes that I thought was amazing? I have a picture of it somewhere on one of my hard drives. No, Debbie, what does that warning say? It says, smoking cigarettes will cause you to have a slow, painful death.
Surgeon's warning right there.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it's a far cry from what we do over here in Americant. You know. No, I'm serious. We're probably saying, well, now y'all should probably it hasn't been proven, but y'all might not want to smoke these. Over there it says, smoke these and you're going to die a painful death. I swear to God, I kid you not.
Yeah.
Truly, there is. What? You're not saying anything. This is very bad. I do better with nobody there unless you're going to say anything. Say something. The Swedish cigarette warning reads, and I kid you not, I just pulled up the package to tell you what exactly it says. So y'all go, well, she just lied about that because it doesn't really say that. It says this. I'm looking under images, and it says, it's written in Swedish. It says, Röken skadar helvete. Okay, it says, smoking clogs the arteries and causes heart attacks and strokes. One of them just says, smoking kills. One of them says, I'm looking for it in freaking English, you idiots. Where is it in English, you sharp? I just read the word sharp. Hank, you're going to die. It says smoking kills, but there's another one. The one I had said, if you smoke these, you're going to die a slow, painful death. I swear it said that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what I'm thinking right there. Yeah.
No,
that's pretty much what research has come up with when correlating, cigarette smoke with bad health, generally. I mean, it doesn't matter which country you come from. I mean, the effects aren't the same.
Well, actually, there is. You're actually right. Now, the 2009, they went up against them and said, they can't say this anymore. They couldn't say this anymore. So they wanted them to say, there is clear evidence that tobacco package health warnings increase consumers' knowledge about the health consequences of tobacco use, right? The warning messages contribute to changing consumers' attitudes towards tobacco, as well as changing consumers' behavior. At the same time, such warning labels have been subject to criticism. 2007 meta-analysis indicated that communications emphasizing the severity of a threat are less effective than communications focusing on susceptibility, and that warning labels may have no effect on smokers who are not confident that they can quit, which lead authors to recommend exploring different, potentially more effective methods of behavioral change. They are two together. Okay, here's the list of the ones that are in Albania. Smoking kills. Smokers die younger. Smoking causes lung cancer. Protect children. Don't let them breathe your smoke. Did you know your doctor or pharmacist can help you stop smoking? Smoking causes a strong addiction. Okay, that's in Albania. In Argentina, they simply say, smoking is very bad for your health. It can cause heart disease, gangrene, lung cancer, reduced lung function, chronic bronchitis, strokes, throat, mouth cancer, and emphysema. If you smoke despite all this, don't say we didn't warn you.
Good warning, Argentinians.
Yeah, absolutely. In Bosnia, well, we already read those. In Brazil, it simply says, this product contains over 4,700 toxic substances and nicotine, which cause physical or psychological addiction. There are no safe levels for the intake of these substances.
Darn right.
Canada says, we don't give a fuck what you do because we're all idiots. No, I'm joking. There says, let's see, I don't know what there says, so who cares about theirs? There says, blame Canada. Okay, China says, smoking is harmful to your health. That's all it says. The European Union says, smoking is lethal. Scrolling down, checking now. Croatia says, smoking. Oh, I forgot you're looking at my screen. I so forgot that. Oh, boy. Cyprus, who cares what they say? Rear, what is rear? Who cares what they say in the rear? We got poker in the front and liquor in the rear. Sorry. In the Czech Republic, smoking seriously harms you and others around you. Smokers die young. Smoking clogs your arteries. You're going to die. You're an idiot. Shut the fuck up. Put these down. Throw them down. Denmark says, We don't care. Smoke. No. Denmark says smoking can kill. And the other ones. They picked up the other ones, too. Here we go. What did I say? Blah, 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 blah. Smoking can cause a slow and painful death. What did I say? What did I say? Huh?
You said that. It's irrefutable proof right there.
God damn it. I'm very well read. Dr. B.
Yeah.
But we're going to skip down to Sweden. There's Japan, who says, if you bomb us, we will kill you. Sweden. Where is Sweden? Let's just do a control find of Sweden. Sweden.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, see, I told you, just sit back in amazement. It says, smoking is whatever Debbie said right there. Period. Boom. One time. Nothing but net. Actually, I can't find it, but it did say that. Röken kan leda till en långsam spark. It says smoking can lead to a slow and painful death. I was like, I took pictures of this to show people. I would send it on my iPhone. It was amazing. Truly amazing. So anyway.
Ooh, there's something. It says smoking may damage the sperm and reduce fertility.
I don't think so. Look at the Chinese. What? Smoking can damage the sperm and decrease fertility, but I don't...
Oh, right. I see.
Hong Kong says, smoke all you want, we make more money off of you. India says, do you want to smoke more? You can smoke more. That's a line out of a movie. I think I should get off the air. I'm wearing myself out, Wiki Bear.
Yeah.
So JFK was murdered by a group of the Jewish persuasion. It was a Jewish gang of people that came down and murdered him. Jews did it. Jews also did 9/11. And Jews did everything. Jews killed OJ's ex-wife. I'm joking. I'm getting out of here, Dr. B, okay?
All right.
Give us a...
Oh, it'll be my pleasure.
Thank you. I've been listening to your shows, and I know that's your intro.
Thanks.
You're the proudest thing I've ever had on the internet. My dun 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 dun. No, that's the presidency. Dun 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 dun. No, that's Shakespeare. What's the graduation thing? Dun 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 dun. What is it? God damn it, Dr. B. What's the graduation song?
Da 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 da.
No, you're doing this. The strawberries. What? The graduation song is some other dumb song. Hold on, we got to figure it out. It goes dun dun. Fuck it. I hate the graduations, and that stupid song plays over and over and over. This would be my address. Students, graduating class, and prospective relatives of each, and future law officers that will be arresting these young men. Out of 400 graduating class today, I'm sure that about 50 of you will be killed before you even reach 30. 10 of you will take your own life because of bullying. 20 of you will be completely busted and in the prison. And the rest of you will be looking for a job. I'm Debbie, and thank you for being here today. And congratulations again to the parents for finally not paying for this bullshit anymore. And oh, by the way, enjoy your student loan payback. Sorry.
That was spot on. Spot on.
Well, I do good on the fly. All right, I'm out of here. Love you, Dr. B.
Hey, thanks. Love you too, Debbie.
You little troll.
Oh, no,
You're
really.
You're a troll. You're a troll. You're a troll. You're a troll. Say it. Say it.
Okay. I'm a troll.
All right.
Troll, lo,
Trolliolio guy. Yeah, I'll see you later, Angel. Bye, love.
Bye.
Closing song is dedicated to Dr. B, and that is What song was I going to play? I totally forgot. I hate this water bill. You know how much my water was for 1 month? Not 2, 1. Not 1, 1. Whatever I just said. $102.91. Now let's tear it up. Come find me. I'm joking. Of course, I paid it. Are you kidding? Don't believe everything you hear. Just believe about half of what you hear, on this show at least. Da, 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 da. It's called Pomp and Circumstance, the graduation walking march. Walking to your death now that you are a part of the machine, so to speak. Welcome to the machine, bitches, is what I said when mine graduated. I gave them cards that says, welcome to the machine. Now go prepare to die. Welcome to the jungle, baby. What? Oh, thank you. What? Yeah. Oh, and everything gets removed from Lester. Everything gets removed from Curtis. Oh, you're not Curtising. You're not doing the delete thing tonight, Curtis. How are you? What do you mean you hate WikiBear? Oh, really? How much do you hate WikiBear? You hate WikiBear? Well, WikiBear your ass then. Welcome to the Machine is what I played for my kids and said to my kids. It is by Pink Floyd, and it says, welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. Prepare to get your asses kicked. Playtime's over, boys. Exactly. I'm talking to Sonny on Skype, And I said, our warnings say smoke. We don't give a fuck. Yeah, they got off the call. Okay. The hackers will have to wait till another night. Welcome to the Machine by Pink Floyd. And now it's just a lot of guitar. A lot. It's one of those things that never ends and it makes me nuts. I'm like, stop it already. Enough already. Shut up. Christopher Walken is one of my favorite actors, and I love the way he talks. And we're going to listen to Christopher Walken, which my friend sent me this through my iPhone, and I listened to it. It was pretty funny. It's worth playing. She goes, play this on your show.
Christopher Walken is here tonight to fulfil an ambition. It's apparently long been a dream of his to come on national TV and entertain children. And what better show to do it on? Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Mr. Christopher Walken.
Hello, children. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. And they each decided to build themselves a house. Now, the first little piggy was a very lazy little piggy, and he built his house from straw. The second little piggy was not too bright either, and he built his house from twigs. But the third little piggy was smart. He was no Dunsky. He built his house from bricks. Smart piggy. Oink, oink. Anyway, in the same village, there was a wolf. This big wolf. Bad wolf. Big bad wolf. Get the picture? Also, this wolf, he loved pork. Pork sandwiches, pork pies, pork scratchings, bacon buddies. If it had pig in it, he loved it. Now, Wolfie sees the 3 little houses with the 3 little pigs in them, and he thinks to himself, Pork City. Wolfie goes to house number 1. Wolfie knocks on the door. But it's a straw door, so how he knocks on it, I don't know. Who wrote this? But hey, knock, knock anyway, right? Who wants to argue? In his most polite voice, Wolfie says, Little piggy, little piggy, little piggy, little piggy, let me come in. No! Says the little pig who knows a wolf when he sees one. Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin. So now the pig has a chin. What do I know? So, let me in, says the wolf. Or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. No, says the pig. No, no, no. But Wolfie is a wolf of his word, so he huffs and he puffs and he blows that house away. Exit pig 1. Pig 2, same story. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Arrivederci porco numero 2. Buongiorno salami. I like this wolf. He's not freezing his ass off hunting snow bunnies in Alaska. He just goes to pigs' houses and blows on them. So, Wolfie stands outside the house of piggy number 3, and they assume their battle positions. Let me in. No, no. I'll huff and I'll puff. Go away. Okay, you asked for it, piggy. Wolfie is huffing, huff, huff. And Wolfie is puffing, puff, puff, woof, bada boom. Nothing. This is a brick house. They do not blow over so easy. So, Wolfie gets himself a ladder, climbs up onto the roof. Piggy sees him climb onto the roof. Wolfie makes for the chimney. Piggy lights a fire in the grate. Wolfie goes down the chimney. He burns. Wolfie Burns. Wolfie Burns and Piggy lives. Happily ever after.